Salute, 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 and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in the deep end with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, we must talk about this Shillomania because, see, tonight, family, we are going to get back on the donkey crats. That's what I call the Democratic Party, okay, with all their pandering and cooning and buffooning that they have their shills engaging in. And tonight, we are going to be looking at Biden's attack, Mammy. Now, I know what you're thinking. You like GBS, that thumbnail, you wrong for that. Listen, man, I got to give them that work, man. I got to do it. I got to do it. They deserve it, family, because see, tonight, we're going to be covering a lot of ground here. It's necessary to cover because as you can see, the Democrats, they think that they going to hand us the okie doke and get something for nothing. But they are highly and sorely mistaken because we are now paying attention to their every move. And what's the main thing I always teach you over here on this platform, in addition to others in New Black Media? We are paying attention to policy and numbers. And we are keeping score. We are keeping score what you doing for everybody else, Democrats, because you're the ones in power now. So for all the idiots, why you ain't talking about the Republicans? Are the Republicans in power now? They was in power. I'll be giving their ass this work too, okay? So we talking about them tonight. We keeping track of all the policies that you giving other people and how much of our tax dollars you giving everybody that's here coming to this country from other places and how much of our tax dollars you giving to other people that are not over here in this country. In fact, the business, before we even get started, let me go ahead and give you all a resource. Let me know if everybody can hear me okay as well, because expect there to be interruptions. They are going to be pissed off. You know, the Democrats and their little buddies over at PewTube do not like you to educate your people on what's really going on. But before we get started, let me make sure that I give everybody this resource, and I'm going to give it out again several times during the broadcast. Y'all know where we're going with this. In case you're a new Black person to my channel, we always give out good information over here. So I want you all to check out this website. Everybody knows what this website is if you've been a long time subscriber over here. We're going to put it in the chat room 3 times. We're going to give the Umar effect 3 times. My brothers and sisters, hold on. Hit the sniff. The Umar sniff. Don't be mad, Umar. I'm just messing with you, brother. I'm just messing with you, man. You stay in your lane, I stay in mine, man. Either way, I want y'all to check out that website, though. It's foreignassistance.gov. If you ever want to know where our tax dollars are going in real time, especially a young Black person, and you're going to confront them at these city councils, you need to bookmark that website and be very familiar with it. It shows you where our tax dollars are going in real time, okay? So bookmark that. And yeah, I got to get started, Nettlebug. I got to do it, man. Bookmark that site. It'll come in handy. So with that said, let me go ahead and greet my esteemed guests before we get down into business here tonight. Let me scroll up. I see Patricia Slade in the building. To Stay Woke in here. Chief X Ali. I see the brother James in here. Jesse Paris, a.k.a. Shane Krumah. Chief X Ali. I see Netta J in the building. Patricia Jenkins over here. Native Jeff Smith. I see the sister Stuns here. Rashawn Graham. Philip Goodman. DJ Dr. Feel Good. Okay. I see Opal Ivy. Sandra Evans in here. Kevin Jose Jr. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, brother. Lakeisha Morehouse. Derek Parker in the house. I see Nightfall drop back over here. The Zealous Approach with Zola. Welcome, sister. Let's see. Who else do I see in here? I think that's everybody. The Hula Gang and Concerned Black Citizen. Welcome, 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 welcome. And shout out to everybody already hitting the cash up. Thank you very much for that. I will definitely be acknowledging those as well. But I want to go ahead and get started with this tonight, family, because see, when you're dealing with Shillomania, it's important that we keep up with exactly who the shills are. Oh, yeah, we got to do that. And see, tonight, we're going to be looking at this. Oh, yes, this bad wig Mammy right here. Oh, we're going to get into Biden's trained attack Mammy. Since that's what she want to come out here being, we're going to label her accordingly. But before we do that, we got to get on some other shills. Oh, yes, we do, because she's not the only one. And brothers, I think y'all are going to agree with me. When we analyze this first shield right here, before we get on, Jasmine Crockett, or as I like to call her, Jasmine Crock full of bullshit, okay? Yeah, that's right. I'm going to go in. I don't have no respect for these people selling out our people. But see, brothers, before I even play what this bastard right here had to say, tell me, and I just want from the men in the chat room right here to tell me, if just looking at this, if you had to elect to send someone to represent black manhood, no matter where on the planet you sent him to, but we gonna choose a representative from amongst ourselves, brothers, okay? We got to pick somebody. Can any black man in here, before you even hear what he say, could anybody just look at him and say, yeah, we gonna send this guy? I want somebody to tell me in the chat room, give me a yes or no. Would you send this guy to represent black manhood, brothers and sisters? Would you? Especially the men. That's what I want to know. Salute to Rashawn for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. I appreciate that. Would anybody, give me a yes or no, would anybody choose to send this little milk dud head, moist, off cold, Sam Bozo shield to represent black manhood? Oh, I'm seeing some no. Oh, okay. And see, you know what? Let me be clear. Let me be fair. Because I don't know if he's moist or not. And I wouldn't care if he was on cold, okay? We wouldn't care about that if you was on cold. But when you sell us out, now that's a problem. So let me show you, for those of you who don't know who this is, this milk dud head Sam Bozo, this is Jamie Harrison, the head of the DNC, okay? Okay, so see, when they talk about that representation or somebody look like you, we passed that point. We don't care about nobody looking like us if you're not on code with us. What good is you looking like us if you're not on code with us? So let me show you what this bootlick is thinking that he's gonna do to win us over as far as black society getting these votes. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, they can hang it up if you're not talking policy and numbers specifically for us. When you throwing bags to everybody in front of us in this country, outside this country, we don't have nothing to say to you, okay? It's time for political punishment. That's a term, two terms I always tell y'all over here. Political punishment. It's time to hand them what they've handed us. See, you know, as black people, we like to spice up our food dishes. You know what I'm saying? We take everything and throw some seasoning on it. So what I propose to do, I would like to elect to turn all of you listening here live and record it into chefs. Now, why am I saying that? Because, see, we've been served benign neglect, brothers and sisters, and now it's time to serve them malevolent neglect. Go ahead and put your chosen seasoning of indifference on there, because I know I got my recipe. Each of you can come up with your own recipe to handle, but they ain't getting a damn thing from me until they do something for my people. I want you to listen to this little round-head bastard right here. If you hadn't been insulted all day, you're about to be.
The contrast. The president often says, don't compare me to the almighty, compare me to the alternative. Donald Trump was a disaster for black America, and we know it, and we'll make sure that folks who forgot that, because, you know, it's been 4 years, that they remember all of the things that he...
Look at this little jolly lying bastard. He already lying. Prove how Donald Trump was a disaster for black America. And I don't have the cape on for Trump, but what I'm saying is name a specific policy that Donald Trump enacted to harm us, you know, kind of like the 94 crime bill. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Captain Crime Bill Joe Biden. I ain't never going to forget that. That's a big part of why our community looks the way it looks today, because of that bullshit. 100 to 1 sentencing. We see who you didn't mass incarcerate, though, and he hadn't done anything to repair that. So when you hear that lame, asinine talking point, challenge these people to say, hey, show me the policies that Trump enacted to directly harm us. Not what you think he did, or you just say that and we take your word for it. Let's talk business. We're going to have to stop them from talking to us as a black community like we're children. You're going to talk policies and numbers, and you better pull up something to show me so that we can have an intelligent discourse about it. That they're using Trump or whoever and the Republicans as a boogeyman, that shit ain't going to work no more. Let's let this bastard continue.
Is done to attack, and what Republicans are constantly doing now to erode voting rights, to erode reproductive rights for women, to erode going after diversity.
Stop it. See, there it is again, talking to us like we children. Nothing is wrong with our voting rights. See, I like to break things down in simple terms over here. I could go on a collegiate discourse and give you an exegesis that's far over the average person's head, but I choose not to do that because I like to reach a wide audience when I talk, okay? Let me tell you something. You can't have it both ways. Either more people than ever turned out to vote for Jim Crow Joe Biden, according to them, or they couldn't. So now if our voting rights are so threatened, we wouldn't have been able to do that. Well, they wouldn't be able to do it because I didn't vote for the son of a bitch. But You got to make them stand on logic and truth and be like, wait a minute, that's not true. And then let's go here with it. For the people that want to sit there and go ring around the rosy with these people, see, I give you what I call shut down corner logic, okay? I'm going to give you some of that old school Deion Sanders shut down corner tactic, okay? We're going to put it in football terms. If they want to run with that, be like, okay, you say our voting rights as black people are so threatened. Oh, they're going to take your voting rights away. Oh, you ain't going to be able to vote. Okay, cool. Then you need to have that permanently amended in the Constitution then. Let's not have a Voting Rights Act where our rights have to be up for a vote every 25 years. See, you put them to the test and be like, okay, what you going to do about it if that's the case? You see what I'm saying? See, because nothing's wrong with our voting rights, okay? We can get ready to vote anytime we want to in any state in this country. And then to go to show you how stupid that is, because I want you to be offended when you hear people trying to play in your face. In other words, pissing in your face and telling you it's lemonade or yellow rain. If your voting rights was in such dire distress, why they always coming to you campaigning? See, if a people couldn't vote, then you ain't really campaigning to us to be voting for you like that. Which one is it? See, you pinned them down with logic. And this whole reproductive health care, no. I'm going to tackle that right now and shut that crap down, because if you follow me on Twitter, I already did it. The reproductive rights they're talking about is abortion. There's only 3 reasonable ways that you would even consider that. Somebody forced themselves on you, the R word, incest, or a life-threatening pregnancy. Outside of that, you are murdering kids. And abortion should not be used as a damn contraceptive. The people in our community that want that to be that way, your ass is part of the problem. And let me go here with it. Because, see, a lot of people love to try to play bullshit and put words in my mouth that I didn't say. You got the right one. Let me tell you something. I also include my condemnation is just as strong for any bastard Negro that's talking about encouraging women to get abortions. Or you complicit to the murder too, buddy. I wasn't ready to be a father. Okay, well, then you shouldn't be having sex raw with nobody then. You shouldn't be having sex, period. Because even if you're using a condom or appeal, things happen. So if you're not ready to be a father, man, keep it in your pants, bro. Go ahead and get you a blow-up doll, or better yet, get you some lotion, and you and Palmer Lee work that out. I don't want to hear that bullshit about you weren't ready to be no father, and you encourage these women to have these abortions. We need our numbers to go up. We at war. These people are not playing with us. We don't need no life taken out our community. And if your funky ass, male or female, is breathing, then nobody killed you, so that child should have the right to live. Not because you irresponsible, you want to terminate the life of a kid. That's my permanent stance on that. And that should be anybody's permanent stance that care about our community. But I just had to get that off my chest. I'm going to let this milk dud head son of a bitch continue.
The equity and inclusion, they're still there. They're still grounded in that. But we also want to make sure that no voter, particularly black voters, do not feel as though they are taken for granted, that we see them, that we hear them, that we value them. And we want black men particularly to understand that. We know that black men want more security. They want more.
I got to stop manipulating milk, dude. I love that term too. Zilla Zola in there in the chat room. That sister said manipulation from milk, dude. I got to borrow that to give you credit, sister. Manipulating milk, dude, up here. We gonna call him that. He's sitting up here talking about, we hear you, we see you. Okay, great. You got the hearing and seeing part out the way. Now that you hear me and you see me, what are you going to do for me? That's where we going with it. Great. You can hear and see. That means, okay, there's nothing. You got 20/20 vision. You got perfect hearing. Now let's get to doing. Let's see how well your hands work, signing things into legislation for us and dropping off these checks in these bags. That's cool. See, you incomplete. You got to have 3 phases. You hear, you see, now you need to do. Don't come us around us with that hear you, see you shit. See, that's that same crap from that leaked 2016 Hillary Clinton memo that the DNC gave out. Just tell them you hear them, tell them you see them, and tell them you feel. Okay, after that, look, I keep telling y'all over here, if you wouldn't work for free, don't vote for free, okay? So now when it comes to that type of nonsense insulting you, that's how you need to view that. Think about it. You work all day at your chosen profession, whatever you do, and then all of a sudden they come out, instead of handing you your check, it's, well, you know, you did such a good job. We hear you, we see you. What about my check? But we hear you and we see you. Okay, you about to hear and see something else if you don't go and get my goddamn money. I think everybody in this chat room can understand that. I ain't none of y'all trying to hear that, right? The same thing should apply when it comes to your vote. Your vote is a currency. It's valuable. Everybody that comes to you asking you for your vote is supposed to earn it. You must have proof of concept policy before I give you my vote. Because see, we can't trust you Get us in there, and then we can get this, that. Okay, how many times have you done that for black people? Then you put us at the back of the line, and we don't ever get heard or seen from again. Okay, that's not going, Jamie. And as far as you talking about anything with black men, let me tell you something, you milk dud head bastard. You not one of us. See, let me tell you where I'm at with it. And I'm speaking for myself as a member of the New Black Media. These little slimy bastards like this, we excommunicating you from the confines or being acknowledged as a black man. You are excommunicated, brother. You're not one of us. Look at this little soft punk right here. And I'm not even talking about whether he straight or gay. Never mind that. We're going to sit that to the side. You a soft punk. You don't represent no working man in this country. You're not speaking up for our people. You trying to gaslight us as if everything's okay. And don't even pretend to be a friend of black women, because if you were a friend of black women, every woman in this chat room would rather her have financial security than worrying about trying to kill babies or not. See, who was the number one group getting evicted during the pandemic? I ain't heard you talking about rectifying that situation, because that hurt a lot of sisters, man. So yeah, I'm gonna burn this counter from both ends. I'm gonna wear his ass out. These goofy talking points. Let's let this chump continue.
Economic security and physical security. They want to be able to provide for their families. So we want them to know how this administration has made that happen, and we will continue to go that. I'm in barbershops every.
Hey, go lying again. See. Let me. They better not ever put these bastards out here where the grassroots is at, where we can run up on them and have a conversation. Because believe it or not, the way I'm talking now, I have a whole other level of conversation with no expletives whatsoever when it's time to get professional, and it'll be just as brutal. Let me tell you something, man. If you've done so much for somebody, you don't need to tell me what you've done. It would be self-evident in society. Black people are not seeing all this progress you're talking about, and then your little round, shiny head ass come up here. You good. You got your little peanuts and crumbs. You're not worrying about nobody. You think you're going to tell us everything is good when we can clearly see around us it's not? Oh, but we know who it is good for. It's good for these illegal migrants that you got coming over here. Fact of business, to underscore my point, before we get back to him, hold on. Let me show you who it's good for, family. Oh, no. We got to make sure y'all see who it's good for. This is the scene from Eagle Pass, Texas. Let me show you something real quick. Yeah, that was Eagle Pass, Texas, okay? Thousands coming over here, boy. Floodgates are open, man. They just pouring in. It was never like this on the Trump. Listen, those of us that have contacts that are down there on the border, they said it was never like this on the Trump because he had to stay in Mexico policy. Okay, you stay down there, fill your paperwork out, we'll look at it, and you come through the right way. Soon as Jim Crow Joe got up here, and we know why, because you're thinking you're going to replace your little dwindling white numbers, and then you think you're going to turn them into a voter base. But see, jackass, they go to show you how stupid they are. Them people come up here, they not with them values in the Democratic Party. All that tutti frutti BS they got going on and all the other goofy stuff. Them people get over here and flip and vote Republican. But it's not going to work because, see, they know Jim Crow Joe don't have a chance in hell. And I'm going to tell you right now, like I said, it's up to everybody to make their own decision. But please, whatever you do not give your vote to the Democrats. You can either sit it out or, if you want to, do a protest vote. But although my thoughts on that, we need to teach these people that neither party gets something from us going forward without tangibles. However, that would be better than voting Democrat. So that's my thoughts on that. And I'm neither liberal nor conservative. My loyalty isn't to a party, it's to my people. But see, little old Milk Dud here, my brother Dad Miller TV pointed out in the chat room, you sitting up in line talking about you in a barbershop. What you going there for, boy? You ain't got no hair, man. This boy look like a shaved testicle up here sitting up here all these lies, man. Let's let this chump continue.
Every month all over this country. I was with Cory Booker in South Carolina doing that. This first in the nation primary in South Carolina is going to be centered on that. This is the first time, instead of black folks being at the back of the bus, hell, we are driving the bus. And that is because of Joe Biden. No president before ever decided to take on Iowa and New Hampshire, kicking off this. And now in a state where 40% of enslaved people came to this country.
Boy, we don't need you talking about nobody driving imaginary buses. You need to drive these checks to our bank account. That's what you need to do. And I don't want to hear nothing about you don't have no money, because see, for the people that just joined us, let me make sure that you have this resource yet again. We're going to hit the Umar. We're going to put it in here 3 times. I want every black person, no matter your age, to bookmark this website, foreignassistance.gov. I will never stop putting my people up on that, because see, these are the things that the white people go to. See that website I just dropped in there? You better believe when these politicians get the line, guess where they go? They'll be like, oh yeah, let me see how much money you spent outside the country. See, that's what we should have been on all these years. Salute to Daryl Bledsoe for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. So yeah, see, I got to give a little shaved testicle in the suit here, the work of God, because see, you're not going to lie to my people. All of us in New Black Media are going to be on these fools' necks. Let's let it continue.
The descendants of those enslaved people will pick the most powerful person on the face of this earth. And that it happened because of Joe Biden.
South Carolina, which is your home state,
Yes.
South Carolina, which catapulted then candidate Joe Biden from back of the pack to president of the United States. DNC.
Well, we
So now that was a little lion milk dud head shaved testicle in a suit, Jamie Harrison. And listen how he talked to the most powerful person on the planet. See these bootlicks, man, that sit up here and praise these damn Democrats. You can't trust nobody that's that enamored with them folks like that. But see, he ain't the only one. We got to get on another one over here. Oh yeah, because see, we gonna get on Biden's little attack, man. But this clown. And again, shout out to my brother Afro Elite up there in Chicago, giving them the work of the New Black Media up there where he can run up on them. Again, I'm going to say it. Young brother, I don't know what your plans are, Afro Elite, but he will make an excellent run for councilman. And if that young brother ever decide to do that, y'all better support that brother, man. He's on code and he's speaking up for the people. He's not afraid. He's very intelligent and articulate when he takes these people to task. This is the mayor up there, though, with his little Tweety Bird looking head ass. Y'all remember the game Super Mario Brothers? I know a lot of you young people don't remember that. But there was a villain on Super Mario Brothers. It was called a Cheep Cheep. Y'all remember that? The little fish that jump about the water? Tell me, isn't that what he looked like up here with these damn glasses? I want you to listen to this bastard right here. This is how stupid they think black people are. I'm going to let this play.
The issue is not just how we respond in the city of Chicago. It's the fact that we have a governor, an elected official in the state of Texas that is placing families on buses without shoes, cold, wet, tired, hungry.
Governor, we got a governor in Texas. He's sending people up here, tired, no shoes. Listen, boy, let me tell you something. If they that afraid, scared, tired, no shoes, you know where they can find all that shit? Back in their country where they belong. Because see, what you did, Brandon Johnson, you lawyer to Democrat. You lawyer to blue, not black. What you did, you went and sat there and said that you're not going to give the people the right to decide whether they want Chicago to be a sanctuary city or not. That's not democracy. That's authoritarianism. Okay? Come on out and say it, you little cheap looking bastard. You don't have, man, look, y'all know what I say about these types of people. They're not worth 2 dead damn flies put together at all. Okay? You a coward. You sold the black people in Chicago out. And then you want to sit here and try to turn Greg Abbott into the boogeyman? Okay, I'll tell you what. You know how you wouldn't be having them problems? Huh? Come closer. Come closer, Brandon Johnson. Come here. A little bit closer. Buy your little fucked up haircut down. You shouldn't have Chicago a sanctuary city. You should be against that. Huh? Because see, notice that Jim Crow Joe don't really have a problem with what Greg Abbott doing, because hell, he would have the Department of Justice to start suing them if it was such a big issue. Uh-oh, did I spill the beans on that? Yeah, huh? Ask yourself that question. See, and these are the things that I want you brothers and sisters up there in Chicago or anywhere we are when we take these people to task. Because see, let me tell you something. Even if you're not in a sanctuary city, wherever we are, we need to go ahead and get out front. Be like, hey, let's go ahead and put that on the ballot. And if you tell us we can't have it on the ballot, then that means your ass get voted out. We should have that on the ballot in all 50 states. We should get to decide if we want our states and cities to be sanctuary cities or states or not. And I guarantee you, most Americans over here, and look, just go to you white folks, because y'all need to get on this before us. There's more of y'all over here. You need to pull your heads out your ass and stop looking at black folks. You need to be pushing for sanctuary city to be on the ballot in all 50 states and vote no if that's what you want. Because we can't take this, man. We're a ship that's full to capacity over here and overflowing. We don't have the resources to be going around like this, man. Them people are not fleeing wars. Asylum is for you fleeing a war zone. Ain't no wars down in South America right now. You coming up here to get a job, that's not asylum. That's not what the definition that is. See, words have specific meanings. Words matter, okay? So for this little weasel up here talking about Greg Abbott, no, we're not trying to hear it, player. Until you stand on business up there and say you don't want no sanctuary city, don't try to turn this around and blame the Republicans. That day is over. We're going to hold you to task for what you do. Let's let them continue.
Afraid, traumatized, and then they come to the city of Chicago where we have homelessness, we have mental health clinics that have been shut down and closed. You have people who are seeking employment. The governor of Texas needs to take a look in the mirror of the chaos that he is causing for this country. This is not just a Chicago dynamic. He is attacking our country.
Did this boy just say somebody need to look in the mirror with that ridiculous jacked up haircut on top of his head? You know what? For those of you that check out my YouTube short section, you should check out the one where I put that short up about that haircut. That's the barber that looked like it got a hold of him. That's what I think happened with him. That barber got a hold of him and jacked his head up talking about looking in the mirror, talking about the enemy of the country. No, you the enemy, you bootlicking Sambo, you. So yeah, brothers and sisters in Chicago, keep your foot on his neck. I know it's got a little ways to go for y'all can recall him, but the minute that he's eligible to be recalled, get him up out of there. And you can't put another Democrat in there, okay? It ain't gonna do you no good. Cause look, before him was Lightfoot. What was Lightfoot or Drunkfoot, whatever you want to call her little Uncle Fester looking ass? She was a Democrat, and she started this, so he trying to pick up where she left off. It's time for political punishment. Don't let these people keep playing with you. But see, now we got to get into some business here and get on this Biden's attack, Mammy. Now that we've gotten all her other little cohorts out the way, I'm going to play some audio from this interview here, and we'll try to show some of it when we can. You know how the Breakfast Club and we start going in on their flunkies. I'll show some of it here or there. But I want y'all to listen to this. We're going to get into Biden's little attack, Mammy, her logic. We're going to be breaking this down.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlemagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Absolutely.
We have Jasmine Crockett. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with y'all.
She's the U.S. representative from Texas' 30th Congressional District, I should say.
How are you this morning,
Welcome.
ma'am?
I'm good.
I was just having a conversation about you. I mean, I was talking to my good sister, Amanda Seals, and she brought your name up.
Yes, my sis.
Yep.
Yeah, she's going hard. Amanda is really doing the people's work as far as I'm
Amanda Seals is a bootlicking tether and a Democrat shield. So you already fucked up right there, Jasmine Crockett bullshit.
concerned, right? Because Amanda has leaned in and said, listen, there's certain things that I don't know about politics. So if I don't know these things, I got to make sure that I'm communicating to the people that follow me so that they can better be informed about what's going on. So she will pick up the phone and give me a quick call when she's got questions. Because
I feel like you need people like her to be translators, right? Because,
Absolutely.
Because I've always felt like the messaging from the Democratic Party sucks. You know what I mean? So
that's the nice way of putting it. Yeah, okay.
She's been able to translate.
See, Charlemagne the fraud, and see, this is why Kwame Brown stay on your neck, boy. Okay, whether you agree or disagree with everything Kwame said or not, yeah, you need to get on Charlemagne the fraud's neck. First of all, boy, you can't say somebody is qualified to speak for us when they don't represent the grassroots. Amanda Seals ain't connected to nobody in the black grassroots. She's a buck dancing Democratic shield mammy herself, okay? Just like this one that you finna hear talking here, okay? Because see, I'm gonna get into a further point about why this is warfare against us, family, but I'm gonna let her talk a little more so that I can make my case for it. Let's get back to it.
In a very digestible way for people.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's just one of those things. I say the Democrats love to write a thesis.
Yes.
When really, when it comes to the Republicans, they like, what are note cards? Like, what are cliff notes? Mm-hmm. And that's what we need to do. People are busy trying to figure out how they're going to keep a roof over their head, keep food in their bellies, keep gas in the car. And we're giving out what literally looks like bills half the time. We're telling them, thousands of pages of stuff, and people are saying, give me the top lines because I got to get to work. And so I think it is important to make sure that you have really good ambassadors that are delivering the message, but they are also delivering it in a very accurate way, because we know that there's a ton of misinformation and disinformation that's out in these streets.
I always tell people that sometimes you have to explain it like you're talking to a child, because sometimes people don't necessarily understand politics.
Now let's stop and deal with some of what was said right there. When they say that misinformation and disinformation, let me tell you who they're talking about. They're talking about those of us in new black media and on the grassroots. And see that insult that DJ Envy, okay, and don't get me started on that little boy. Let me restrain myself. That little high yellow simp, we'll call him that. This whole you got to break it down like you talking to children. The people that you seeking votes from in our community are adults, DJ Envy. Now, just because you're puerile-minded and you think on the level of a child with some of the decisions you've made in your personal life that we've seen on display here, do not relegate us to your incompetent land of ignorance, sir. You are over there with Charlamagne the Fraud by yourself, okay? You don't relegate that to my people. All the people in this chat room that's listening to me live and will be listening recorded, everybody that's in new black media spaces, we go and read these websites. We go and read these bills. We know what the policies are. Just like I put that website to keep up with where our tax dollars are going overseas, the foreign aid bribe money, let's call that what it is. That's our reparations money right there, families. For those of you that never looked on foreignassistance.gov, go over there and look on that site. One day I need to break that down on my channel so that y'all can see in real time where all this money is going. They talking about, we ain't got it every time black people ask for something. You're playing in our faces, but see, it's our job to make sure that those days are long gone. But just take that as an insult, talking about you got to break something down, like you talking it to a child. And notice the little talking point that came down from the top there of the DNC. Well, you guys just don't understand civics. You know what we do understand? Because we understand civics very well, but we also understand economics. And my people need the bag right now. Let's let it continue.
Right?
Absolutely.
And when we're in school, a lot of times we take those classes just to get through it because we're more concerned with our major.
Absolutely.
What got you into politics?
Oh, Lord. Clearly, I need my head checked. But no, for me, I actually practice law. So I've been licensed, I think at this point, for about 18 years in Texas, Arkansas, and federal courts. And as I was walking into court, whether it was the civil rights cases or the criminal defense cases, I would walk in and I would say, this system is not working. Like when you walk in and you know that you're going to lose because the laws that are on the books don't work for people that look like me and you, then I'm like, something has to be done. And maybe it's because the lawmakers just don't understand what they're doing. Now, I found out that they absolutely understood. They know what they're doing. I was the green one, but that's what drove me into politics. And my very first race for the state house in Texas, oddly enough, a man by the name of George Floyd ended up being killed between my primary and my runoff. And when I was running initially, I said, we're in the midst of a modern day civil rights movement. And people thought that I was like being extra when I said that. But ultimately, like when he ended up being killed, I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like if we don't start to understand how these systems work, who puts the police chief in charge, who writes the policies for the police chiefs, who makes the laws that allow for them to kill us, and then face no retribution. Like, who does that? And so...
Okay, so let's pause it right here, family. Let's pause it right here. Because, see, you heard all that babbling she just did. Ma'am, what you need to start with is recent history. Jim Crow Joe swore that he would have everybody's backs. Oh, he swore what he was going to do. And you had my back, I'll have yours. African-American community stood up for me once again. Okay, that's what you said on your little speech. We played it over here. Remember that George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act? Where'd that go? Oh, you heard anything else about that? But see, we know what the excuse was, and they're going to bring that up here in this interview. Oh, Christian Cinema and Joe Manchin, okay? See, that's all political theater. They planned that out. We're not going to do nothing for these niggers, so designate two so-called problem Democrats that are really operating like Republicans and say it's all their fault. You believe that? Okay. Well, why wasn't there a problem for every other group that you did something for? See, I'm going to make my people think when I address them. Joe Manchin and Christian Cinema didn't block nothing for the Asians, the East Indians, the Arabs, the Hispanic, all the Afghani refugees coming over here, the Ukrainians. Ain't nothing being blocked for them. That works just fine. But when it comes to us, we just can't do nothing. No, that's not going to fly. So I need you to start with recent history, ma'am. Don't give my people that babble. We're going to confront you everywhere we see you, and we're going to make you turn and leave like they have. And shout out to the grassroots out there all over the nation where I've seen this. When you confront them and then they get mad and leave, okay, bet. Next time it comes down to voting, we're going to make sure we know who to get up out of there and who not to support. All of them need to be replaced. And see, I want you to do your homework on something before we continue here. Did y'all know, family, that the family of Bottoms John in Texas, you know, the brother that was killed down there by the race soldier Amber Geiger, did you know the family had to make her stop running around pretending that she was representing them? Oh, yes, you can look this up. You can look this up. Bottoms John's family had to make her stop claiming that she represented them because she was doing so falsely, running around with that Black Lives Matter crowd. We already know how they are. So just to go to show you what type of snake that you're dealing with here, to see, let me tell you something about my channel, right? I'm one of the brothers that that little crap where you throw a black woman in front of us and, you can't say nothing because she's a black woman. That bullshit don't work over here. And look, most brothers in the new black media, we take on the task, but if nobody else did, I would be the one to do it, okay? I'm going to give you the work of God over here. You understand? You can't just because you a black woman sitting up there. Nah, if you're not helping our people and you cutting our people's throats, you finna get the business, okay? And see, I'm going to let y'all see just how compromised this heifer is as she talks. This woman is blue. She's not black. She's for donkey crack, okay? If you doubt that, you gonna see. We gonna let it continue.
When I ended up participating in so many of the protests, and when I would go out there, I was like, what's the best role I can play? Keeping people out of jail. Mm-hmm. So I represented over 600 people pro bono during those protests, and no one ended up with a conviction that I helped. And so I made sure we got people out of jail. I made sure I told them what the law was, and I made sure I told them, now how do we go from policy, or how do we go from protesting to policy? Right. And ultimately, that's why I think I was successful. And I think that, we have to have more people that didn't grow up saying, I'm going into politics, but we have to have more people that say, you know what, something is wrong with my community and I need to step up to the plate.
So what's your job in politics? If somebody would say, well, what is Jasmine Crockett's job? What do you do?
Black Congresswoman.
Yeah, that's what I am. Mm-hmm. No, I'm just kidding with that. No, so my job is to write the laws. We write the laws for the entire country. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, the biggest thing that we do is we hand out money. Mm-hmm. We are the ones, and that's what we're not doing right now. When everybody's like, the government is about to shut down. What does a shutdown mean? That means that we're about to stop delivering money. So we are supposed to appropriate all the money. So when people say, hey, we got to pay our taxes, whether it's corporate taxes, personal taxes, whatever monies we actually collect into the treasury, we have to then disseminate that money. So when people are saying, hey, we don't have money coming to our community, actually, you may have money coming to your community. The question is, what are the people that are in receipt of that money doing with the money, right? Mm-hmm. So in a state like Texas, a lot of times we say, listen, Greg Abbott, he's not about this life. And so what we need to do is work around him. We need to make sure that those county executives.
And let me pause it right here, okay? See, let me tell you what I have an issue with. As a businessman, a successful one, okay? In many fields, okay, whether it's executive security, running my own cybersecurity firm, or actually training people in physical security and hand-to-hand combat with gun safety, et cetera, et cetera. If you don't know nothing about that, check my Patreon in the Survival Tips broadcast. I give you a rundown of what my background is. But what I don't like, family, what I don't like is when you have mammies like this talking in ebonics and slang. Listen, ma'am, you're supposed to be a professional chosen to represent the people. I don't need you putting on the Mammy Act using these types of terms. I need you to step into a room, all business for our people. And yes, it is Congress's job to disseminate the money. But if you're going to be a black person in Congress, you need to be making sure the money is coming to us, not entitlement programs. Because let's be clear, most people in America that benefit from these damn entitlement programs, welfare, all this other stuff, that's mostly white people. See, the Democrats think of it this way when it comes to the Democrats, the Donkeycrats, and because they're in power right now. So for anybody coming in, he talking like a Republican. The hell what Republicans do? I'm talking about these because they're in power right now. And they got mammies wearing our skin tone that look like us, dishonoring our skin, representing our people, supposed to be. you think of the Democrats as a pimp, right? Now, a pimp, how he makes money off of his prostitutes, his females, he keep them dependent on him, okay? That's how the Democratic Party wants us. They want you to focus more on a program, entitlement program. Wealth does not come from a damn program. We need capital for businesses in our community so we can employ our own people. That's what we need. The same package that they're giving to everybody else, huh? Yeah, see, you think about this. They coming over here papering up all these immigrants with our tax money, and then in 3 to 5 years, they open up all their own business, and the first thing gonna tell you, if I made it, I came over here with $2 in my pocket. I'll pull myself up by the bootstraps. Why can't you? Yeah, motherfucker, you did it with our money. You did it with our money. You see how much of an insult that is? That's why we don't play with these Johnny-come-latelys over here. But see, family, trust me when I tell you, we got everything we need to make them turn the tide around and play and come to the table talking business. You got to do the right thing this time, though. You can't put Joe Biden back in office. You Biden sexuals, you understand? And I know many of you Biden sexuals, you've seen the light. Now you come around. You should have listened to New Black Media when we told you what to do. If no tangibles were on the table, you should have set it out. But no, you let them make you afraid of Donald Trump like he was Satan incarnate. Listen, all the white presidents, including Obama, have been white supremacists, okay? Or white supremacists adjacent in his case. All of them. You don't let nobody make you fear one man, especially if you call yourself claim to be any type of Christian or whatever religion. Since when in your faith, for the people that have a religion or a faith or whatever, let me put this on your heart. If you claim to be a devout Muslim, devout Christian, Buddhist, whatever you believe in, since when in the tenets of your faith did it tell you to be afraid of a damn man? Ooh, Donald Trump, he come here. Well, fuck him. What was it? You survived it, didn't you? All of us are still breathing right here, okay? Those of you that are listening to me, you survived Donald Trump. That man ain't putting together no specific policies to harm black people. This isn't about like or dislike for anybody. It's about looking at policies and numbers and saying, okay, if you say he's so bad for us, show us where he hurt us at. Where his 94 crime bill? Fact, hell, he got black people out of prison with that First Step Act, okay? See, I'm just talking facts here. See, you leave your feelings to the side when you're talking business and facts. And now it's time to handle business with these people. But we're going to let it continue because, like I said, she's going to show her true colors, and it ain't black, it's blue.
And make sure that those city elected officials get the money, because we can't trust our governor to do what he's supposed to do as we appropriate that money. So a lot of times it's a combination. You know, most people want to show up for one race, right? Like they'll show up for the presidential, they'll vote for president, and then they don't show up for city council. Mm-hmm. Chances are somebody like me, I'm collecting the money and I'm sending it down and I'm saying, hey, this is what it needs to be used for. Or for instance, one of the great bills that most people haven't really zoned in on that the Democrats as well as the president signed into law was the Infrastructure Act. So we all saw what happened in Flint, Michigan. We all know what happened. We also know what happened down in Jackson, Mississippi with their water. Mm-hmm. So this administration, the Biden-Harris administration, said, listen, what we're going to do is make sure we start addressing environmental injustice issues, whether it's the air, the water, or the soil, because it's literally killing people every single day that look like us. And so what they've done is...
Say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
What you said...
Let me pause it right here because, see... We're going to fine tune this thing here. We're going to comb through all the bullshit with a microscopic comb, okay? We finna sort this out. Family, when you hear these politicians in either party, but we talking about the Democrats tonight, the Donkeycrats, when you hear them talking about we're going to start addressing, okay, addressing is talking from what they're talking about. If you're going to address something, we need to hear what's the specific solution and show me where you're going to implement it. I don't need you addressing. See, think about it this way. Remember what I told you years ago about the Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke? Y'all probably remember him. You'll notice a pattern with the Democrats, okay? All politicians, but we talking about them. What they'll do, they'll come before you and tell you about things that you live every day, things that you already know are wrong. And then at the end of it, nobody's giving you a solution. Ain't nobody talking money and tangibles like they do with these other illegal aliens over here using our tax dollars. Huh? See, you need to demand, tell them you need to talk to me as a black person the same way you talking to these people that are not even citizens over here. Because when you talking to them, you get straight to what you gonna do. What is the white LGBTQ community? Let's be clear. That's who get all the resources. And all these other immigrant groups classified as white. Oh, you talk about a check with them. Think about it, family. Do you ever see them campaign and talk to these other groups the way they talk to us? like we're little children, okay? No, them days are over with. That's over with. You better, when you start talking about addressing, you better show us what you're gonna do about the issue. We don't want to hear you talking about it. We see the problem. Now get the tools over here and the resources over to fix it. Let's let it continue.
This now is absolutely true. I understood what you said. But how come Democrats can't say, Flint, we're gonna fix the dirty water? Flint, we're gonna make sure y'all got clean water. Flint, we made sure y'all got clean water. This bill makes sure y'all got clean water.
Now, I agree with that. They not doing that. But it is a combination of things, right? So
now you just heard her, right? You just heard her. They not doing that, and I agree with that. Okay, no, pause. See, this is why they won't talk to those of us in new black media, because we ain't gonna curse them out. But I would have stopped up like, okay, if they're not doing that, don't move on to something else. We need to talk about why they're not doing anything, because you got plenty of money to deal with everything else. See, look, let me go here. Let me show you something, right? How many of you remember the brother? Shout out to the Army Corps of Engineers, Moses West, okay? Veteran, former Army engineer. That brother made an atmospheric water generator machine, and he's trying to get them down there because he went down to Flint. He went up to Flint and went down to Mississippi trying to, help the people get water. And I think he's still trying to help. But okay, Jasmine, you got control of the money. Why don't you fund that brother so he can make more of those to help the people in crisis until you get that repaired with that system down there? Oh, yeah, see, they don't want to talk to nobody like me. Because, see, as a businessman, I'm always going to get straight to the point. I'm going to cut your bullshit off and be like, okay, great. Now, why don't you do this? Yeah, come on. Let's put you to the test. You really say you want to do something for people? You got your hands on the purse strings, right? And if they don't approve it, then you need to be saying, hey, look, we need to see you, one, on TV, just like you on the Breakfast Club. We need to see you on here saying, hey, y'all, listen, I went to them. I proposed what you asked me to propose to them. They said no. You're not coming back telling us none of that. We don't even see you talking about the things that I just mentioned. Yeah, see, that's where I want to train my people to think here. Let's let it continue.
They got to do their part, but also congressional. So when I show up, like, I've delivered millions of dollars to my community. My community is a majority minority district. So almost 80% of my district is black or brown. And so what I've done is we got.
Oh, she just committed the cardinal sin because, see, listen, and shout out to Chief X Ali for the cash app. Thank you very much for that, my brother. See, this is something else we're going to have to break the back of that. That phrase, that black and brown, no, ma'am. Anytime you hear any politician say black and brown, let me tell you why we got a problem with that. All of y'all already know, but see, I'm going to be detailed about this. The black and brown phrase, first and foremost, show me the Hispanic or the so-called brown politician that say brown and black when they getting their tangibles. Oh, yeah, see. Oh, yeah, I told you. I'm going to chop all this nonsense down. We don't see no brown politicians talking about brown and black, then don't say no black and brown. See, this black thing, that's a dirty word. You can't just say black and be talked specifically to us like you do other groups. Them days are over. You better be addressing black people by ourselves just like you do everybody else. The other reason with that so-called black and brown issue, what make you think that every time that something's supposed to be done for us, it's supposed to be done for them? Everything they have is because of us. These people are not native or indigenous to this land. That's our money. Our elders and ancestors gave up the rights that they had for you to be here, okay? They suffered for you to be here during Jim Crow. Because when our people, unfortunately, one of our greatest traits about our people is our unyielding and all-encompassing humanity and compassion, okay? Dr. John Henry Clark spoke on this. It's a double-edged sword, though. Now is the time for us to be concerned with ourselves because, see, we've thought about everybody else and those people have stepped over our backs and then they turn around and disrespect us and even target us to harm us, okay? Most of them jump over here and can't wait to side with white supremacy, and they be twice as dark as you or me talking about Caucasian on your paperwork. Yeah, I'm going to East Africans for you that's in the tether class. Not all of you, but those in the tether class, you know who you are, coming over here from them countries with that Caucasian on your paperwork, okay? But when you get over here, you find out that you black, no matter what you think, okay? So now when it comes to her with all that babbling that she was doing there, no, Jasmine, no, you don't have the right to insult us by saying black and brown anything. You're going to stop doing that. All of us, everybody on the sound of my voice, you make sure that anytime you hear a politician, an alderman, city council person, whoever using that black and brown term, you light them up. Like, no. And if you keep using it, we're going to make sure that you're not sticking around no more, because don't nobody say it. Think about it. Not only do you not hear brown and black from the so-called brown people who are classified as white, you don't hear the Asians saying Asian and black, Arab and black, East Indian black. No. They represent themselves, as they should. I don't begrudge them for that. You're supposed to be represented by your own group. But when it comes to us, you got to lump everybody in. Nah. We clean the house on that. Let's let it continue.
The big fake chicks. We call all the media. Listen, we do. Like, keep it simple. I mean, seriously, you got to keep it simple, right? I bring my EPA administrator out and I say, y'all are getting this money because of this bill and because of the president and the vice president. And I tell them, and we're doing amazing things. But the thing is, we as members,
you hadn't done a damn thing for Black America.
We also have to carry some of that water because it's only so many places that the president and the vice president can get to, right?
Right.
So it is a team effort. I just don't know that, like, we all get on the same page. I don't know. We have issues.
And by the way, that right there is such a simple thing a president could say or a vice president could say, so people can point to and say, this is what the administration has done. I don't need to know all the minutia of the bill. I don't need to know everything in there. The water getting clean because of this.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. And the bill was like over 1,000 pages.
Wow. Exactly.
So exactly, right, yeah. And you just need the top lines.
So we spoke about the president. What's your thoughts on Biden? You know, a lot of black people are not effing with him right now, not riding with him, and necessarily don't even want to vote on him.
I know.
So not coming back.
I know.
They're not coming back.
It's stressing me out. It's stressing me out. Listen, it's stressing me out because, you know, I have direct access to the president, obviously, and I almost wish everyone could have a real sit down with the president, like a one-on-one.
Now, I want you to listen to how she's talking about, I have direct access to the president. I want you to listen to that. Because, see, when we point out these mammies and these bootlicking Democratic shills, okay, all these turncoats over here, like I just showed you, little milk dud head, bald testicle in a suit, Jamie Harrison. I want you to listen to how they speak about having close proximity to these white folks. See, we need on-code grassroots candidates that we choose ourselves if you're not going to run for office yourself, like our brother Marshall is trying to do and trying to encourage us to do, that have the wherewithal to do it. And shout out to Sister Tesla Figueroa with her Push the Line program, because she will train you and get you ready for that. If you're thinking about running for politics, that's the sister to reach out to. If you're serious, she'll give you everything you need to know and help set you on that path. But see, we need black people that we choose to go in there and talk representing business, not to go in there, oh my God, I'm next to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. No, man, we need somebody like, hey, yeah, how you doing? Let's get to business, okay? Aren't you impressed to be in? No, what the fuck I got to be impressed for? I'll be impressed when I get something done for my people. That's what we need to represent us, okay? I want you to listen to how she talked, though. I'm showing you how she's compromised, because I ain't really started breaking her down yet. Let's let it continue.
And a real sit down with the vice president. I'm going to be real, because it's just one of those things that most people don't have access to. And I'm going to be honest with you about this. Trump was amazing at propaganda. Mm-hmm. I mean, when we got the stimulus checks, they were delayed because he said, I want to put my signature on it. Mm-hmm. Now, Trump wasn't the one that said, hey, this is what we need to do for the people. It was the Democratic House, the Democratic Senate that passed the legislation. He didn't even initiate it. He just signed it into law, right? But he was like, this is a good opportunity. The problem is that it's exactly what you just said. Like, we need a president that's going to go around and brag on himself. He needs to be bragging about the fact.
Now, why she's sitting up here trying to do the Trump, because Trump is not in office now. Joe Biden is in office. But see, let me tell you what I love about these bootlicks and these mammies, particularly the mammies, because let's be clear, they will put the black women, and this is an agenda war thing. We're talking warfare and strategy. You can see what I'm about to say with your own eyes. Y'all know we don't do the gender war, but we got to call things what they are. They're quicker to put a black woman, specifically one out of our lineage, a tether, and I really want to check her background because I don't trust where she's from, okay? I don't trust where she's from. She may be one of us, but listen, it could be a tether. They will put a black woman, specifically a tether, up to represent them, because I guarantee you do a tally, it's more of them in positions in government in either party than it are black men, especially from our lineage. There's a reason for that. Think back historically when it comes to warfare, okay? What I always teach you on this channel, I always put things in terms of warfare so you can understand how it applies to present day. You don't have a bunch of men from a city or place that you've conquered or a new territory that you conquered to add to your empire. You kill most of the men, keep the younger men that are under the influence of their mothers, and then you put the women in power. And because they're more apt to conform to power. Men, as in our nature, it's a natural thing for us to buck against authority, okay? So they're not going to put no brother in there from the soil unless you are tried and true vetted coon, or unless you're going to get your Billy Porter package on, okay? We all know what the Billy Porter package is, all right? Unless you're going to be one of them, they're not putting you in no position, you know what I'm saying, where you can actually do something for people. Because, see, they know if you have a connection to our lineage, you're going to want to do. Look, let me tell you something. Perfect example. Marion Barry. Yeah, I'm going, Bill. I'm taking it back. Shout out to Marion Barry. I don't give a damn how much you were smoking, boy. You were doing stuff for the people in D.C., okay? Yeah. See, they were like, oh, no, we can't put too many more Marion Barrys in here. Because even if you got this little rock and roll addiction, man, you still doing things for black folks. See, they learned from that. So they're like, okay, get these bootlicking mammies, specifically the teller class in here. All you got to do is impress them by being in close proximity to us. Remember what she said? I have direct access to the president. Okay, well, motherfucker, what that mean if you ain't getting nothing done for your people? But see, you got to care about your people for that to mean something to you. For you to be rubbing elbows with all these different people, you got your little hair done, your little weaves done, and you running around here and there, but you're not getting nothing done for black folks? Huh? You see where I'm going with this? Yeah. So it's strategic that they put them up there because they're easily compromised and they're selfish. They're quick to turn their back on people. And that's a bad problem. But see, let me tell you something, Jasmine. If you think that black women today are going to just ride with you because you're a black woman, baby, you are sorely mistaken, because the women over here in my chat room that's listening to me, no matter how foul my mouth can get, no matter how angry I make some of them at times, because I know I make y'all angry, sisters. That's all right, though. I'll make you angry out of love because I love you. We got to get this thing together. These women are going to come at your neck because they're focused on policy and numbers. They're not trying to hear that, especially if it was a sister that got evicted during the pandemic. Oh, no, we're not trying to just see you sashaying around and going to all these different luncheons. No, they expect you to do something for them. So just wait. You keep on running that game if you want to. Everybody ain't in these little sororities and crap like that. You got hardworking sisters out here, whether they work a job or whether they're entrepreneurs and are trying to make their own bag. Oh, they're not trying to hear that babble that you're talking about. You're going to have to come with some tangibles. But we're going to let her bury herself because, see, let me show you something. She was talking about Trump delaying the checks with his name on it and all of this stuff. And, oh, it wasn't his idea. Glad you said that. See, they talk too much. If that's the case, why hadn't Jim Crow Joe sent out no stimulus checks then like that? I'm talking about, I ain't talking about the little chump change. I'm talking about, okay, since you really want to one-up Trump, come on, man, let's cut some checks. Since you said it was all their idea, why you ain't doing it now then? You see how you can catch them in lies, man? But anyway, she ain't done yet. Let's let it continue. See, this is what I love these useful idiots for, because they're easy to break down when they go off script and they don't have their handlers right beside them. See, this is why they need their little white handlers in the room to tell them when to shut up. When they send them out by themselves, that's when we can pick their asses apart. Let's let it continue.
He and his VP who graduated from a HBCU needs to be bragging about the fact that they actually have given more money to HBCUs than Trump ever did. But you know what Trump did? He sat back, he took a picture with all the HBCU presidents. Right. So everybody's like, oh, Trump gave, nope. Let's be real about this. This actually was the result of a bill that was signed into law by a Republican, by a Bush, and ultimately this was a reauthorization. In the reauthorization, he actually wanted to zero out the HBCUs. But a black woman out of North Carolina, my colleague, Alma, she said, oh, this is not what we gonna do. And so she fought for it. She was able to get the money back in. So once he signed it back into law, he was like, well, let's take a picture. Like, we have to do some of the gimmicky things.
Now, see, this is what I hate about these low-life maggots like Jasmine Crockett bullshit, a.k.a. Jasmine Crockett. You left out the fact that when Jim Crow Joe got in there, they act like you can't look this information up. Because let's be honest, they don't expect the average black person to pay attention to stuff like that. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. but those of us over here in New Black Media do. If you go look up, Joe Biden cut funding to the HBCUs. Time he got his little wrinkled up pale ass in there. Yeah, you ain't gonna tell that part though, huh? Jasmine Crockett bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So you can't trust these low-life maggots like this. When these people come to you, family, you have to be informed about what things are. Go look up things, get an understanding of it. And then when you confront them, you hit them with nothing but the truth. You don't have to curse them out. You don't have to say nothing, but just stick to the facts. And what you'll often find when you try to have that type of logical discussion with them, when they see they can't ring around the rosy you and switch up words on you and get you confused, they'll get mad and walk off. Yeah, they'll rage quit on you, okay? Yeah, that's what they do. They're just like little kids playing video games. They'll rage quit and walk away because they know that you got them pinned. It's not that hard to do because let me tell you something. She says she has a law degree. Don't you ever confuse education with intelligence. You understand me? And then I don't care how much education you have. If you don't have common sense, that shit is worthless. Huh? Common sense is the practical application of intelligence. Just because you got a degree from wherever, they pass a bunch of idiots graduate college all the damn time. We see plenty of them. Michael Eric Dyson, yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, boy, don't get me the name and names on them. Cornel West, you another one. My black and brown white brothers and sisters. You done lost your damn mind. I guess you land up with that bit. Boy, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm going to have to do a whole nother broadcast on that. My point is this. Make sure you're well informed. You hit them with policy and numbers. When they start lying to you, be able to shoot it down just like I did, because you can look that up. Joe Biden cut funding not only to the HBCUs. Look what you did to black farmers, Jim Crow Joe. Do you hear her talking about that so far? You're not going to hear her mention nothing about no black farmers in this interview. I guarantee you that. Oh, but she sold for the people, huh? Yeah. Let's let this continue.
Things that will allow people to see and visualize. But let me tell you something.
Oh, y'all do gimmicky things. It's just whack shit. Like when they kneeling down in kente cloth, you know, in Congress. Like that's nobody asked for that.
I wasn't part of that, so don't look me in. Don't look me in with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I do.
No. Let me correct that right now. You don't get to say don't lump me in with that because you so loyal to them. Well, bitch, you going to be held accountable for every damn thing they do, including that gimmicky ass kneeling with the kente cloth stunt. You want to be loyal to them? You want to be a pet to the Democrats? No, you're going to be held responsible for everything your master do. You don't get to pick and choose and salad bar what you want to take credit for and what you don't. No. See, that's just what these mammies do, man. The bootlicking cowards. They are pathetic excuses of so-called women. They really are. And see, sisters, let me tell you something. If you're offended at what I'm saying, don't be offended at my words. Be offended at what they're not doing when they claim to represent you, okay? Her ass is over there in the state of Texas, all right? So my Texas sisters, y'all need to be lighting her ass up with the same things that I'm talking about, okay? Up here sitting up here, you in Congress and you got access to have a say-so about where the money go, but you're not talking about none of the stuff I'm mentioning over here tonight? Yeah, okay. Let's let it continue.
You try to have conversations. You know, I just had a conversation about Cardi B and her and what she has said, like behind closed doors. I think that is one of the benefits of having some of the younger members or the members that haven't really been ingrained in politics like that, because we can translate and say, hey, we need to work on the messaging on this because this is what's out in the streets. But back to the president, we have two options. We have one person that, hey, a lot of people say isn't perfect. And this is what we do in this country is we are always searching for perfection, whether it's in our preacher at church or whether it's in our president. And the reality is that none of us is perfect. I promise you, while I believe that my district loves me, there are some people that definitely don't agree with me on some.
Let me stop this lying bag of dog shit right here. We're not asking nobody to be perfect, Jasmine Crockett bullshit. What we are asking these people to do that have gotten those people's votes, because I'm not one of them, I didn't vote for them. If you collect our votes, then you're supposed to do something for us. See, that's what politics is, okay? Quid pro quo. We exchange votes for policies and tangibles. You claimed you was going to have the black communities back, but I hadn't seen it yet. From what I can tell so far, I guess that was translation for give a bag to everybody except for us. See, this heifer wouldn't be talking like that. See, watch this. Let me make it real for you. Because, see, this is what I want y'all to do when y'all confront any of them, not just Jasmine Crockett bullshit. Hit them with this analogy and be very polite when you do it, okay? Let me be the potty mouth on my podcast. Because, see, I would be polite if I was confronting them in person, too. I wouldn't want to give them an excuse to run away, so I wouldn't use any curse words, okay? even though that's what they deserve. Give them this, though. Do you think she would be talking that way if they didn't give her her paycheck for being a mammy up there? If her paycheck was late, let's just say, oh, well, Jazzy, Jazzy, your paycheck's going to be at least 6 months, maybe 8 months late. Yeah, I guarantee you she wouldn't be talking like she's talking about y'all. Okay, us over here, the black public, okay, black America. She would not be talking. She would be like, she would show her little bad weave wearing ass. I guarantee you she would. See, you have to personalize it. But no. If somebody was talking to you, stalling and BSing and trying to kick the can down the road when it comes to tangibles, you would be unhappy, Jasmine. Yeah, see, that's what you have to do. You have to go there with it. But see, I'm going to let her continue babbling here because, see, she finna get to something very important, and we're going to break that down like a fraction. Let's let it continue.
Certain things. That's just what it is in life. We don't agree with our spouses on everything in life, right? And so we don't necessarily have to agree with this president on everything. But let me tell you something. He at least is not a danger. My concern is the fact that Trump is an actual threat and danger to us.
Whoa! Did you hear that? Bitch, well, I know why you doing it, little mammy, because she probably got a zaddy somewhere tucked off. Let me tell you something. You say this president, Jim Crow Joe Biden, isn't a danger? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask my chat a question. And I want you to give me the fire sign emoji in the chat if you agree with what I'm about to say. Wouldn't you consider somebody playing with your paper a danger to you? Huh? I'm going to ask the question again, family. Wouldn't you consider somebody playing with your economics a danger to you? Would you not consider somebody letting all these illegal aliens, which they have not vetted, some of them are criminals, some of them got diseases, would you not consider that a threat? I'm just going to ask some questions. Give me the fire sign now if anybody agree. Let me ask some more questions, right? Because she said he's not a danger to us. Okay. Remember when the little weather balloons, that's what they call them, low Earth orbit, okay, observing objects, okay, we can call it that. Those are so-called Chinese weather balloons that was flying over all these nuclear silos over here. When you consider an incompetent president that allowed that to happen, that didn't happen under Trump. Notice that? Oh, I'm going there with it. I'm going there with roller skates on. Oh, we got to break down the Mammy Babble. So let's ask some more questions, right? Since you say he's not a threat, wouldn't you consider it a threat to have a bumbling, senile, old president in the White House capable of making decisions that can affect all of our lives? You got access to the nuclear launch codes, you senile old bastard. You don't think that's a threat? I'm just trying to figure out which Joe Biden she looking at, because it's not the one that I see falling up the stairs. Every time you turn around, his ass is falling. Nah, man. White America, you sitting here, y'all listening? See, you need to be going at her and everybody with these talking points right here, because we all see what a threat to this country this man is. This man done lost his damn mind. He's beyond a threat to the country at this point. I'm going to go a step further. I'll be the one to say it if nobody else in new black media see it. This bastard should be brought up on charges of treason with all this stuff he's done in this country. And we're going to get to some of that a little bit later, because don't think that I've forgotten about his little meth mouth son on the thumbnail. Oh, we going to get to him. Oh, we going to get to him. Just stick around. I'm probably going to educate you and enlighten you on something that y'all probably did not know. And I want all my young black people to pay attention to this, because everybody's going to be able to use that information when that comes up. It's going to teach you a lot about taxes and business. We're going to get to that shortly, though. Let's let this heifer continue.
Whether it's our democracy, this is somebody that sat back and said on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Do we not understand what it means to have a dictatorship? Like in this country, in the land of the free? And let's talk about like when we really look at.
No, you didn't. No, Jasmine. So, okay. Because first of all, Trump didn't say nothing about being no damn dictator. See, I can't stand somebody to just make up lies because you don't like somebody. See how compromised her ass is? See, no matter who we send to represent us, we need that person to stand on integrity. You don't make up lies on somebody just because you don't like them. That's another reason they love to stick women like her in politics, because they know they prone to lying. Okay? Let's deal with something, though. You say that Trump was talking about ruling by dictatorship. What you call not allowing the people to vote for whether they want a sanctuary city or not? That's under the Democrats, Jazzy. Yeah, let's go there. What you call taking a candidate off the ballot for in Colorado because you don't like the candidate? That sounds like authoritarianism to me. And I ain't caping for Trump. I'm just saying that we're going to talk about dictatorships. That shit sounds like more of a dictatorship than a democracy to me. But hey, what do I know? Let's let it continue.
His homies on the Republican side. We've seen the dysfunction in the Republican House. We've seen what they want to do. All they have is chaos. And so until somebody comes at me and tells me, hey, this is a policy issue that Trump is trying to bring forward, he ain't brought no policies to the table. He won't even debate because he knows that he doesn't have a stance. The only thing that he's trying to do is make sure he can stay out of prison. And listen, I can appreciate the hustle.
See, this is what disgusts me about this heifer. Notice everything that she's going to say is trying to flip back to the Republicans. The Republicans are not in power right now. They're not running the country. We're talking about the shortcomings of you. See, let me give you, y'all know me. Hey, I'm an old retired soldier, okay? I got to take it back to military. Understand something. If the orders are unclear, it's the fault of the general. Okay, not the troops. It's the fault of the general if the orders are not clear. So when you're dealing with someone that is in a leadership position that keeps trying to deflect away from taking accountability, let me tell you something. In any branch of the military, where my veterans at? Tell me if I'm wrong about this, right? Because all of us have lived it. Anytime you in charge, the buck stops with you. If some shit go wrong in your unit, you look for all the younger recruits, and I don't encourage nobody going into no branch of military. I don't went into reasons for that. But I'm using this analogy for a reason. For all of you that were former staff sergeants, okay, lieutenants, whatever your rank might have been in any branch of the military, you all know that anybody that fucked up under your command, if they fucked up, you had to chew their ass out because what was going to happen to you? Your superior officer right above you, oh, you finna get the business. So yeah, we listen, come on now. So we got to hold them to the same standard, family. The same standard. You don't throw accountability over here. Well, what about the Republicans? The Republicans ain't in office. What you even talking about some damn Republicans for? See, I get offended when they come to me with that bullshit. But see, they got the right one. This is why they don't like running into us on the grassroots, because they know we're going to be like, we don't need to hear nothing about no Republicans. They ain't got no control over what you've done right here, right now, and what you're not doing. You letting all these illegal aliens over here, that's a Democrat decision. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. You in control of all that. This economy being fucked up, this is on your watch. All of this stuff we got going on, you dumping millions of dollars over there to Ukraine like that's your personal stripper, Zelensky over there. You doing that. This ain't got shit to do with Republicans. This is you, okay? See, that's how you got to talk to them, man. We're going to have to get disrespectful with them because they've been disrespectful with us for the longest. We can get intelligently disrespectful with them. There's a new something to put into your lexicon. Let's let it continue.
Right? But the reality is that we have always been subjected to the prison system in this country.
That's right.
And he should not be above the law. And that's the only reason that he's trying to get back. So,
I agree with everything that you just said.
I mean, I get it, but you like, it's
no,
not changing.
I agree with everything you said, but it's still the Democrats' fault. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
There's also a third option. The third option is the couch. You got Trump the criminal, Biden the coward, and you got the couch.
I'm gonna argue
the couch might win.
I argue that the couch means that Trump wins.
Yeah.
There it is, family. What did I tell y'all? I knew it was coming. If you don't vote, that's a vote for Trump. That's the same bullshit. Let me tell y'all something. Wherever you are listening to this broadcast tonight, when any of them politicians in the Democratic Party pull that with you, you better light their asses up and let them know you got more sense than that. If you don't vote, that vote goes to no one. Oh, the call sound like that's a vote for Trump. Okay, this is what you do. Explain to me how that works, ma'am. Explain to me, you royal moron, you. Explain to me how if I do not cast a vote, that my vote magically hops up and goes to the other candidate. Will you, in all your brilliant, radiant idiocy, explain to me how this occurs? Is this some new magic trick? What is this? I need to know how this occurs, ma'am. This is what you have to do with them. They think we're that stupid. Oh, you better remember the words political punishment. We owe these disrespectful bastards so much political punishment. If you think it's over, she ain't done insulting your intelligence. Let's let it continue.
Yeah,
I
I argue that like it may be 3 options, but we got 2 out of 3 comes
No, it ain't no maybe 3 options. It is 3 options.
with Trump, and I think that that's a problem. And for everyone,
A lot of people don't think Biden is mentally able to.
that's
actually do it.
I don't agree with that.
No,
I mean,
the reason I say that is because we've seen so many things of it seems like early signs of dementia, right? And anybody who's been around anybody that has dementia, when you start seeing things like that, it brings you back to those moments. Now, when he's not in those moments, yeah, he seems fine. But it's those moments that scare you because anybody that knows somebody in dementia, it comes fast and it comes with time. So you're talking about another 4 years. And 4 years, he's
not getting no younger. He needs to just step aside. That's the reality.
He's not getting any younger. None of us are getting any younger. I might add.
And I'm sure you've seen some of the things that people have been talking about.
But I'm going to say this.
When I tell you that this woman is compromised, and I'm being polite by calling it a woman, because if you betray my people, you become an it. Listen to the gaslighting. All of us are getting older. No, bitch. We talking about what we seeing right in front of our eyes, okay? Yeah, my respect to her lasted all about 2 seconds. She don't deserve my respect, though. You slitting my people's throat and you sitting here gaslighting. We're all getting older. No, we talking about this fool falling all over the place and stuttering and can't. Look, we've seen footage of him where he's supposed to be shaking somebody's hand and he turn around and ain't nobody damn there. This man is losing his mind. Come on, man. And you gonna sit here and tell us we didn't see that? Do you see now why I have such ire and disgust for these low-life donkey crat shills? Oh, my God. Let's let it continue.
I'm going to say this.
Does he need to step aside?
No. I'm not going to say that.
He needs to step aside.
We going to lose. We going to lose. We for sure going to lose if we don't have Joe.
He said there's 50 other people in the Democratic Party he thinks could beat Trump. He said that. So if there's 50 other people he thinks could beat Trump, he needs to step aside.
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this. First of all, it's not going to happen. Because we have deadlines. Like, for instance, my filing deadline is going to be on Monday in Texas. Like, you don't have time.
But if he steps down, they'd have to change the rules.
No.
Have to, right?
No. He will still be on the ballot. It's just like people die and still end up on the ballots because, like, the rules are the rules. So the reality is that we don't have time to even get somebody onto all these ballots, not to mention the amount of money that it takes to run campaigns. Like, it is just not realistic. And here's the deal.
Let me pause her right there. I'm so glad that she said and mentioned about the amount of money that it takes to run campaigns, because for all of you gathered over here tonight, let me show you something. Yeah, let me hit the fire motion. Let me show you something. Yeah, we're finna show you something. I like to educate my people over here. This next website that I'm putting in here, I want all of you pick your favorite bootlick, okay, in your state, in your city. I want you to go type their name into this website right here, fec.gov. Now, why am I telling you to do that? Gentlemen, I'm not telling you to do that because it shows you exactly who owns your bootlick in your state. Yes, right. You can find out where their funding is coming from, and that way you can find out who controls your bootlick. Okay, fec.gov. Type the name in there. You see where their funding coming from. Just want to throw that out there. I want to arm my people with all the tools you need to handle these bootlicks. Let's let it continue.
We have a president that has accomplished so much, and so right now everybody like, well, forget the accomplishments. They need to start selling and telling in a very short sentence exactly what they've accomplished. When is it that somebody is saying
you hadn't accomplished a damn thing for Black America? We see that, heifer.
Excelled, and then people say, well, step aside because you old, because that's essentially what it amounts to. And I hear you on what you're saying.
It's not about old has nothing to do with it.
We talked about him not getting younger.
For me, I said it's the dementia of what I've seen. Like this, like my dad is
dementia of what I see.
It's early dementia of what I see.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
My dad's 88 years old. He's considered old, but he has no signs of dementia. He can run, he can jump, he can do everything, he can think straight. But my mother-in-law, who passed away from dementia, was a totally different story. And it was one of those things, we could have a great conversation on Monday. On Tuesday, she didn't know who I was.
I'm taking an old president versus fascism any day.
Of course.
That part.
Yeah,
as well as, when did we get to the point in a country where we think that it's okay to have somebody who's not facing one, but 91 felony.
Right. You facts.
Seriously, there is no, to me, I don't understand why it's even a debate, because there used to be a time in this country you couldn't even be accused of something way less significant. But I will tell you, I've seen anything that makes me think that. What I think people forget is the fact that the president
Wait till you hear this Mammy's excuse for what we've witnessed from this old, incompetent, dried up bag of alabaster dog shit, Joe Biden. A lot of times y'all probably think, oh, GBS being hyperbolic, he exaggerating. When I tell you this woman is compromised, I'm not going to even interrupt. I'm going to let her get all her bullshit out before I even comment on it. Wait till you hear the excuse that she's finna make about this. You can't make this up, man. I want y'all to hear this.
Actually has overcome a speaking impediment. So people forget they forget Joe's story. They forget the fact that he actually has a speaking impediment that he actually went through, I think, speech therapy to try to overcome. And I personally believe, like, it's not a matter of like you're able to necessarily change that. You learn how to work around it. Mm-hmm. And I believe what people are seeing is a result of the fact that he is getting older, and those skills that he's used to kind of overcome some of that is starting to seep back in. That is personally what I believe that I'm seeing. But as somebody who, listen, I just told my staff, because they got an event that they want to do. Mm-hmm. And I was like, y'all know I hate these picture lines, right? Like,
did you hear this ignorant heifer? Family, all of you who are in the United States of America listening to this broadcast, I want you to tell me right now if having a speech impediment makes you turn in the complete different direction of a person whose hand you're supposed to be shaking. I want you to tell me if a speech impediment makes you fall up and down stairs everywhere you go. When I tell you she's compromised, you can't do anything with something like this. Do you understand how disgusting this is? Somebody gonna sit here and make excuses for something that we've all clearly seen with our own eyes. When I tell you these people must be made pariahs in our community, you understand me? See, let me tell you why they're fighting for their lives right now. Because, see, this is the thing about selling your soul, so to speak, using this hypothetically here, okay, and like, in a metaphorical sense, rather. When you sell your soul and you become a bootleg for either party, you know that if that party get out of power, you can't come back to your people. Let me tell you something, man. When this is over, because look, I'm just going to go ahead and call it. Joe Biden not going to win again. As long as people do the right thing. Because look, most of white America, they not fucking with it. They understand that, okay, we can't keep doing this. All right. The ones with sense do. Okay, now the degenerates in the Democrat Party, okay, they're going to vote for him. But those of us over here that's on code in Black America, y'all done seen the light. Some of the Biden sexuals have messaged me, and they're like, hey, you know, they hanging up the Biden sexual cape. Good on you. You should have did that the first time around in 2020. Now you got a chance to get it right. But see, when you got this type of compromised, incompetent bootlick up here, gonna sit here and go that far to make excuses? But if you think that's bad, oh no, wait till you get ready to hear the excuses that she about to make for Jim Crow Joe's son here. Or Hard Rocks Hunter Biden. You know what I call him. Yeah, y'all seen that YouTube short I got up there where he got them big old turtle-sized routes up there on that scale, weighing it up, boy. I done told you, boy, hey, listen. Like Fabo said, boy, bitch can't do it like me. Yeah, we can't do it like him, boy, you little crack addict son, man. Powder around his nose everywhere you go. Boy, I got something for his ass, though. I'm going to let it play, though, because I want y'all to hear this part when she start making excuses for him. I told you, she is compromised, and anybody sounding like this, we cannot trust them.
They're probably mad that I just said that on the radio. But, like, we have to do these picture lines.
Wait, what's a picture line?
Basically, you know, when you have an event, then everybody wants to take the pictures.
A line of people waiting for a picture.
Yes, and so you don't get to enjoy the event because you're just standing there, you're taking pictures the whole time. Everybody else is mingling. So the White House, I think, has over 30-something Christmas parties.
Absolutely.
And we just had the members' Christmas party. So they separate them into different, the media had one, the members just had ours on Monday.
Black media, because I went to the black media one last year.
So
I love saying no to those. I love it. I live for it.
They're a good time. You should do just to do. Okay, fine. So anyway, but literally, they were standing there for hours. And I remember somebody, like, staff was like, President, do you need a break? He was like, nope, I'm good. Like, he never got to mingle, and he was up there I couldn't do it. I don't like to do it for an hour. So those are the things that people don't see is the behind the scenes and how, I mean, this man wakes up early, he works late, and you know, I remember the only time I've been into the Oval Office, he brought a small group of us in and he was talking to us. And when I tell you that he can remember stuff back way, way long ago, and I probably can't tell you what happened about 2-3 years ago.
I'm like that.
I mean.
Oh, so basically what you just admitted, Jasmine Crockett bullshit, is that you're not mentally competent to be where you are. Huh? Because that's pretty bad, family. Basically, she's telling you that this senile old bastard, his memory is better than yours. This is out of her mouth now. I'm just saying, you heard her say that she can't remember things from 2 or 3 years ago. Well, then you're not qualified to be in that position, ma'am. I don't know. What say you, those of you in Texas? Do you think someone making this type of statement, comparing herself to a senile old man, and she say he got a better memory than her? See, this is where your bootlicking and your sucking up come back to bite you at. Because that does not inspire confidence in your constituents at all. I know it doesn't me, but hey, you know, I love it. I'm loving that she's talking off script, because I guarantee you that her handlers are going to get a hold of her when they review this. They'll be like, hey, yeah, you don't go back out and do nothing else without us. Let's let it continue.
I can't give him credit for that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, he
man's
really
been alive since 1901. He has memories from
so
that.
what I'm not finna do this. I'm not finna do. I also want to point out, while everybody want to talk about our president is old, we got old versus old. I just want to be clear about that. Okay.
You know the other problem?
They both AARP. Like, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
And I talked about this on the Daily Show this week. The other problem is Democrats have demonized every Republican candidate forever. Since I can remember, everybody was, yes, everybody was the person that's going to end democracy. Everybody was the person that was going to usher in fascism. Everybody, they've demonized everyone. John McCain, Mitt Romney, George Bush. I remember when George Bush literally was like the Antichrist to people.
I know.
Now him and Michelle hugged up every time you see them. So it's like now when there is actually a threat, nobody believes you, because that's all Democrats ever sell is fear.
Well, I think that the Republicans sell fear more than anybody.
Of the other side, though.
Yeah. I mean, I will agree. I think that what we've seen politics shift, right? So we never thought we would have a Trump. And so, yeah, in that time, a Mitt Romney or a George Bush was extreme, right? But now we got people that have literally said no to reproductive access. We have people that are under.
I'm not going to let her keep getting away with that. What you mean is the right to murder children outside of the 3 normal, reasonable things. Somebody forcing themselves on you, incest, or life-threatening pregnancy. Outside of that, that is not a healthcare issue. See, while we own that, the next time any of you in my chat room hear that demonic commercial, because that's demonic, okay? Let's just sit there and watch that commercial. Because we've all seen it. It's probably popped up on some of y'all broadcasts. You know what I'm saying? When you watching things on YouTube talking about abortion as healthcare, you just sit there and listen to that demonic bullshit. Huh? No, so don't sugarcoat words, Jasmine. Don't sugarcoat words. And see, this whole trying to compare Trump to Biden. I hadn't seen Trump falling down all the place and can't remember the things that he's supposed to be saying and have to get somebody to direct him and control him. See, you think about it from a power position. And see, you understand white society gets this. If you're supposed to elect a leader of your nation, that makes you look weak to other nations, man. You understand? Somebody got to be helping you around here and there and trying to remind you of what you're supposed to say, and you can't even walk upright by yourself. They laughing at us right now, man. On top of everything he's doing to compromise this country as far as the border security. So, yeah, I just had to go in and straighten out on that. But she ain't done yet, because, see, this is what I love. When they let them go off their leash, so to speak, and speak by themselves, it's easy to break them down and pick them apart. Let's let it continue.
Federal indictments or felony indictments. I mean, my attorney general is out here telling doctors that he's about to prosecute them if they abide by a court order to save a woman's life. Like, this is what we're living in. So no, it is definitely next level when you're talking about the fact that people who should be in prison, who haven't faced their charges for over 7 years, are going out and trying to send other people to prison who are actually trying to do their jobs. Right now, doctors are facing up to life in prison in the state of Texas if they have anything to do with abortion, even if it is medically necessary, because you had idiots that don't understand anything about medicine writing the laws for doctors to follow, and the doctors are like, we don't understand what this is. Yeah, so I mean, it is extreme.
This woman stay lying. There is no case. Look, see, this is why they send them to the Breakfast Club where they can just softball stuff and don't give them no intelligent pushback. Because when she would have made that statement, I'd be like, are you prepared to prove and show me a case where a woman had a life-threatening pregnancy and they threatened to prosecute the doctor if he didn't carry through with the abortion did? So you have to make them produce proof of these things. Because see, what you have right up here, family, that you're looking at on the screen, this is a liar. You don't need a liar in charge of handling any kind of business. Let me be clear on this. Just because you don't like someone does not mean you start lying on them. See, as men, we understand that. I got to go here with it. Because see, fellas, tell me if I'm wrong on this. If you conducting business with somebody, because I know I do, but I'm going to ask my chat room for the brothers that are business owners in here. If you conducting business with somebody and you find out they're a liar, does that inspire confidence in you to keep associating with that person? Or would you rather say, okay, I caught you lying about this, now I got to cut you off because you can't trust a liar, okay? So that's what you're dealing with here. Because see, you're not going to find no case where that happened. She just say stuff and act like people can't go look that information up. You ain't going to find that nowhere. But see, these idiots that she talking to, they, like I said, don't ever confuse education with intelligence. They ain't giving her no pushback and saying, hey, prove that. Where's the case that happened at, huh? Yeah, let's let it continue.
Yo, I think Democrats became the party who cried wolf.
And you may be right.
You know?
I wasn't in politics back then. I mean, you may be right. I mean, I was voting, I was paying attention, and I agree. I never felt the angst. It's more so the angst that got me into politics. It was the fear. I remember when Trump got elected, I was researching what it would take for me to get my dual citizenship between the United States and Canada, because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna need to get up and out of here.
What do you think I've been doing?
And that statement right there really has me wanting to look in her background. That sounds like tether talk, doesn't it? Oh, it's getting bad. Let me put my Flintstone Force Ones on and get up and flee. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, man, you hear that talk? That's that tether babble, man. Something get tough, you pick up and run somewhere. Family, I'm gonna find out about her background. I'm gonna make it my business to find out what her background is. Cause boy, if I find some Mammy and oxtails in there, I'm gonna come out and put it on Front Street. I'm gonna make that my business to find out where her ass and her family is from. Cause see, that's that Flintstone Force One talk right there, boy. She ready to get up and run, man. Man, look, I may be wrong, but man, look, that don't inspire any confidence in me. But we got to know where these people come from. Okay, we got to, because see, when they jump up here and they not representing our interests like that, you have to ask yourself a question like, damn, man, you can't be from our lineage talking like this, because you clueless and you caping for them white folks so hard. See, that's another thing make me think she's not of our lineage. Look how hard she caping for these white folks. And in case you think I'm exaggerating about that, just wait. Oh, okay, you ain't gonna be able to argue with what's coming up next.
What have I been saying in this room for the longest?
I mean,
I'm not even exaggerating. Like,
I'm not either.
I already know what's about to go.
No. I'm not either. I mean, that was a fear moment for me, and a number of my colleagues, especially in my current class, were like, that's when they got engaged and was like, wait a minute, ain't nobody coming to save us. I'm gonna have to step up and save us. You know what I'm saying? So like I need people to understand that like none of us is perfect. We will never give you the policies that you believe are perfection on this planet. It's just not going to happen, especially because Democrats do believe in governing, right? In governance.
Wrong. No, Democrats don't believe in governing, right? No, wrong. Because let's go here. This is what I love about the mammies. They're incompetent mammies and bootlicking Sambos and Sambets. When they get up here talking without mastering the script, you keep carrying on about how you can't get things perfect, but you seem to not have a problem getting perfection to these damn illegal aliens over here. Did I go there? You damn right I did, with futuristic roller skates on. While she got her Flintstone Force Ones on, I got these roller skates on. I'm right behind her ass. Come here and answer these questions, Jasmine Crockett bullshit. I'm right behind you with the truth. And see, if she shake me, family, wherever she run to, you cut that ass off. Don't let her go to Canada, wherever she trying to go. She talking about she wanted to run away when Trump was here. No, you gonna answer these questions. Yeah, I got some questions for you. How you can get perfection right when it comes to everybody? Hey, listen, Zelensky's getting perfection. Oh, all your taxpayer dollars. Fact the business is time to go ahead and put that website right on back in the chat room so y'all can have it. Foreignassistance.gov. We're gonna hit the Umar. The Umar's new 3 times, brothers and sisters. Put the foreignassistance.gov website in here 3 times so that you can track where your tax dollars are going. That's right. Umar gonna be mad as hell if you see this. Listen, man, I got jokes, but I want y'all to understand. She keep talking about why she can't get it right and everything can't be perfect. Well, why is all these other groups? Look, the Asians got perfection. They got a whole hate crime bill, didn't they? Everybody's getting perfection except for us. Those of us from the soil, the lineage, foundational Black American freedmen. But see, Jazzy, I'm so glad that you up here running your mouth because see, words today are going to come back to haunt you somewhere. If it's not me, somebody listening to this broadcast is going to confront you, ma'am. And they're going to be very polite and they're going to hit you with the facts. And you ain't going to have but 2 choices. You can either give them a straight answer or you can run away with your little high heel Flintstone Force Ones on. Let's let it continue.
That means that at some point in time, you probably have to compromise. So we will never give you exactly what you want. But what we will do is do our damnedest to make sure that you are safe in this country. And you know, people don't understand from a foreign policy. Like, I really just want people just one day to sit down and Google some foreign policy stuff. Mm-hmm. From a foreign policy stance, I am very concerned about our safety in this country. People weren't giving Tuberville a hard time as it relates to our military. Mm-hmm. And the Republicans only decided to step up once they were like, okay, this is reaching a fever pitch. We just had to authorize 400 promotions. People don't understand in the military, you reach a point in which the only way you can be promoted is if the Senate confirms you to that promotion. If you don't get promoted, then you're out. We would have lost some of our top brass at a time in which we have conflicts that are breaking out everywhere. That is a problem. That is a national security problem.
Oh, now you done went where you shouldn't have went, Jasmine, talking about the military. Oh, you shouldn't have. You should have kept your mouth shut. Listen, she's talking about like the joint chiefs of staff and things like that. As far as like regular military positions, the Senate doesn't have a damn thing to do with that. But let's go there. Let's go there, shall we? Most of the conflicts that we're about to be engaged in now, your boy Jim Crow Joe Biden instigated them. Who you think had something to do with the assassination of Haiti's president down there? If you hadn't looked into that, they found American currency on them so-called mercenaries, and some of them had started talking. Remember, you notice you ain't heard nothing else about that either, too. They probably done killed most of them. Because, see, when you sign up to be their flunkies like that and those types of operations, read the book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, okay? Listen, if you start talking, they got to get rid of you. But see, this here, you talking about what's going on with the military and conflicts. Your boy is the one that's causing all these problems. Running around, jumping into everybody's business. You trying to tell African nations that if they don't allow LGBTQ over there, you going to pull funding? Good. They need to tell you to get your funding and get the hell on out their business. You got sanctions on Zimbabwe right now. Okay. All because Robert Mugabe, rest in peace to his soul, he tried to take back and did take back the land for his people. And now, ever since then, because, you know, you think you're supposed to have a white man ruling over an African nation, okay, which was called Rhodesia at the time, Zimbabwe, you mad at them for taking back some shit that didn't ever belong to you? Why you ain't took them sanctions off of there, huh? Just all over every other country business trying to tell them what to do. And then you trying to backdoor Putin and put all them NATO nations around that man. Listen, man, that man have told you, dog. Stop trying to surround me with all these damn hostile nations, man, in NATO. Listen, I can't blame Putin for that, man. What would you do if somebody had a hostile threat in your backyard and you like, all right, man, I done told you now. See, a lot of what's going on the world stage is his fault. Notice when Trump was in there, you ain't really see all this shit kicked up like that. The most that we had going on besides like actual hostile conflicts, we had like trade wars and stuff going on with China. Okay, and that's going to be there for a while because look, I can't fault China. They were dirt poor third world. But thanks to letting all the manufacturing jobs go over there and to copy the China plan, now they are a first world nation with plenty of economic capital. Thanks a lot, white supremacists. Always looking at black folks. So that's on y'all. So I just had to go there about that military stuff. Jasmine, don't say nothing else about the military. Just leave that alone now. Let it continue.
People don't understand. I know people are all upset about funding Ukraine. I know they upset, right? But they don't understand that we had the authority to send our stores to Ukraine, the stuff that we had to protect us. So right now we need to replenish. So a bunch of that money.
You hear how stupid this woman is the more she talks. You know how you don't have to replenish something that you need? You don't give it away in the first damn place. You trying to supply Ukraine. By the way, they got open Nazis over there. If you doubt that, you saw a lot of Africans found that out the hard way when the conflict started. Oh, man, they had like the Africans called the damn conflict. Don't get me started on that. I'll cover that here on this channel, too. Y'all can find it. Y'all can see it. But that's how you don't have to replenish something. But you ain't got no business giving none of our tax dollars or none of our damn weapons over there to them. That ain't got shit to do with us. That's two cousins basically fighting. Because the Ukrainians and Russians, they're the same people, okay? They're the same people that just broke off from the Soviet Union. That's a family affair. We ain't got shit to do with that. Just like we don't have shit to do with that other so-called conflict overseas they keep trying to get us to take a position in. Nah, see, everybody in here understand this. Even if you don't like what I'm saying, even if you're partial to a political party, whatever the case may be, I bet you everybody can understand this. Because see, over here, I like to give you things where even if you don't agree with what you hear, and you ain't supposed to be agree with nothing everybody say all the time, okay? I bet you can agree with this, though. If your family is starving and you got just enough food to feed your family, do you give that away? Huh? If your family is starving, you got just enough food to cover every mouth in your household, do you give anything away? I rest my case. That's the same thing that you would apply that kind of logic to what she just said. See, I love it when they turn an idiot loose. I'm telling you, man, this is the gift that keeps on giving right here. Let's let it continue.
Is to replenish our own stores of ammunition right now. So it's not just about, it looks like, because the top line is funding, and it's not kind of getting into the minutia. But we need to make sure we're safe. And people need to also understand that if Putin is successful in Ukraine, then he next most likely goes to maybe Poland. If he goes to Poland, that means that our troops, our husbands, our brothers, our sons, our sisters.
So the fuck what? Let me say that one more again. So the fuck what? Slow-mo. So the fuck what? That's European business. If you so worried about our troops, guess what? Our troops shouldn't be over there in the middle of their bullshit. That's a family affair. That's an Eastern European affair. I don't give two shits what Putin do with Ukraine, Poland, whatever. As long as he's not fucking with us, that's not our fucking business. See, that's how you get caught up in a lot of stuff as far as our country. You over there meddling in other people's affairs, they ain't got a damn thing to do with you. You understand where I'm coming from with that? That's simple logic right there. But see, this bimbo, boy, this thimblehead bimbo right here, she actually thinks she cooking too. I want you to be clear. This babbling buffoon right here on this screen, she actually thinks she's saying something that's profound and intelligent. No, you making, look, boy, Democrat shields, y'all better start putting your shields back on leashes, man. Don't let them out here by themselves because they show how incompetent they really are. She ain't done yet, though. Let's let her keep going.
Our mothers, our cousins, our aunties, they're the ones that are actually going to go into war. So we are talking about
a draft.
No, they already signed up.
You know why
we're about to send our service members in. So like this is a matter of like keeping us safe as well. Like we would rather spend money and say, hey, you want to defend yourself? Yes. We want to see you take down this army.
You're absolutely right, but people want to eat right now.
I agree with it.
If I'm in St. Louis or South Carolina or Texas and I ain't got no money,
I don't disagree.
I don't got no roof over my head.
I don't disagree.
I don't care about none
Eggs
of that money going over to you.
No, listen, I agree with all of that. But let me tell you who the enemy to that is. It's still the Republicans. I sit on the agriculture.
Do you see this? Charlamagne the Fraud, and shout out to my good brother Black Voltron Reloaded, man. Glad you joined us, my brother. Charlamagne the Fraud is making some sense here, okay? I give credit where it's due. He's talking about what's going on right now with who's in charge, and what's the first thing out her mouth? They got her trained, attack Mammy, just like I labeled this broadcast. So anybody, you being harsh. No, what this sound like to y'all? I told you, when I name a broadcast over here, I name it for a reason. She's an attack Mammy. It's still a Republican fault. He's going to tell us why in a minute here, though. Let's let it continue.
Committee. Right now we have the Farm Bill. The Farm Bill is where we get the SNAP benefits from. Guess who trying to cut the SNAP benefits? Republicans. Guess how much people, I just want y'all to guess. How much do people get a day for SNAP benefits?
I forgot. It's millions of dollars, though.
No.
Oh, but Jasmine Crockett bullshit. Who cut funding to the black farmers? If you were so concerned about SNAP benefits, and I'm finna get on that in a minute too, you would be having him, hey, cut that check to these black farmers so we can get this food out here, okay? But see, let's deal with that SNAP benefit stuff, because again, more white people are on these entitlement programs. And if you was concerned about black people, you know what replaced SNAP benefits? How about you get your little weavy wonder ass up there and say, hey, we need funding for black business capital. That way you can create businesses in the community and we can employ our people. It's better. See, they don't want you to feed yourself. Just like I gave you that analogy earlier in the broadcast, family, about a pimp. The Democratic Party wants black people to be its whores, and it wants to be your pimp. Keep you dependent on them. They don't want you independent and doing for yourself. Okay? If you think what I just said, you tripping, man. Let me go here with it. Let's get real. They don't give these other groups entitlement programs, and they don't even vote for them like you do, family. Huh? They give Asians business capital, East Indians business capital, huh? Arabs business capital. White folks, you see, they can't stop giving them capital. You better see what happened with the Navy Federal Credit Union situation. Black people got perfect credit, twice as much money in the bank, and you still putting these white folks ahead of them? Why you ain't addressing that, Jasmine Crockett bullshit? Oh, but that's too much like doing your job, though, huh? I guess that's too much like doing your actual job. But see, maybe I am being too harsh, because see, this is about the much intelligence that she has, okay? This woman is about as smart as a damn dining room table. So maybe this is the extent of her mental capacity as far as focusing on business. Maybe this is it. You heard her earlier in the broadcast admitting that Jim Crow Joe got a better memory than she do. Maybe it is actual incompetence. So what I say to the good people over there in Texas, you need to send this incompetent piece of shit on her way out the door, because this is beginning to get insulting to us, okay? She ain't done yet, though. Let's let her get back to it.
No, one person a day
one person
to eat. How much do they get?
What, 300 something?
A day. They get $6 a day.
$6.
$6 a day is all that they're getting in SNAP benefits. And I'm having a fight with Republicans that are like, it's too much money. Well, they buying popcorn. You can't do nothing with the money in the first place. They're like, well, we need to balance the.
Salute to Project Leroy for the cash out. Thank you, my brother, for that. Now, see, let me tell you the problem I have with this, because she isn't saying it directly, but when it pertains to black people, she's trying to talk to us like, we all the black people is on these entitlement programs. No, man, no. All that stuff benefit primarily white women, because they're a double minority. They women and they white, okay? So let's go ahead and cut the bullshit with that. You keep talking. See, that's another thing y'all gonna have to train them to stop doing. Stop talking to black people like you talking to the lowest common denominator. Notice when they start talking about doing something for us, the first thing they talk about, prison reform. Most black people are not in prison. You understand me? Why you act like the first thing that you supposed to talk to us about? You Negroes, you just can't keep it locked up, huh? Okay, no. All black people are not criminals. And if you really want to go there, okay. Even though I ain't got the cape on for Jonathan Majors, How about you address what happened to him? He got a whole raggedy alabastress chasing his King the Conqueror ass all over damn the streets of New York City, and you still convict this man of assault? Huh? Come on, man. I'm just saying, man, if you're really concerned about black people and justice when it comes to that, we need you to start addressing them kinds of situations, okay? But see, I can't stand when they talk to the lowest common denominator amongst us. They're not talking to us about things that can actually put us in an economically empowered situation. But we gonna make them do it because I'm telling you, going forward, tax their ass for everything. Tax their ass for everything, family. Anything that they ask us for, okay, cool. That's what you want? Okay, now let me tell you what I'm gonna need you to do in order for you to get that from me. That's where we got to go. Political punishment time. They're going to come up off them tangibles or they're going to get the fuck out of our faces. They continue.
Budget. So I just want to be clear. We can walk and chew gum. $6 a day. We can feed people in this country for sure. And honestly, we need to be making sure that we're increasing the amount that they're getting because we know how much food is costing. Sure. But right now, I'm trying to hold the line and just get the daggone $6 a day. We have the money to do it all. The problem is we pit people against each other. Mm-hmm. We say, well, we can't feed y'all because we're sending money off to war. No, we can actually do it both. And we are demanded to do it both. We have 12 appropriations bills. The Republicans can't get none of them passed because the extremists say we want to cut it all. For people that are complaining about housing, we had a bill. You know what?
See, let me show you something else, because here she go with that Republican bullshit again. Let me show you something else. This is what I want y'all to start doing, family. How you gonna have the presidency, you gonna have the majority in the Senate and the House, and you still can't get nothing done? Okay, well then you incompetent. You don't need no more black votes. Guys, if you just get us the Senate, okay, you go out there and you vote to get them the Senate majority. Guys, if you just get us the House, okay, you go out there and give them the House. You already got a presidency, so you still telling me that these Republicans, you just can't get nothing done? Do you see when you corner people like her with that kind of logic? Because it's simple. You don't need to be a political scientist, no astrophysics major, none of that. All you need to be is intelligent enough to use common sense and look at things and say, wait a minute, what you're saying is not adding up. You can't keep blaming the Republicans for stuff when you in charge. That makes no sense. None whatsoever.
When they put their appropriations up, they wanted to cut 30% of HUD. That's where you get your housing vouchers from.
But why Democrats don't fight for this publicly though? Like y'all can't just fight in Congress. Like you have to,
I mean, I guess it's not sexy. I don't know why. I don't know. But
if you don't know so much, if you have so little knowledge, Jasmine Crockett bullshit. If you have so little knowledge, that means you don't need to be in that position, ma'am. You don't. Oh, I don't know. No, what you need to say is you don't care. You don't care. You getting your little peanut check. You good. You don't care. That's what you mean.
It looks like Democrats are always just laying down and rolling over and letting Republicans just run all over them. That's why I get it. That's why you go viral when you call the GOP out and call them a bunch of asshole Republicans, which you did. Yeah. Why did you do that?
Because they are. What you mean?
I know, but what was the specific thing that made you, that triggered you that day and said, nah,
boy, they all got that same coon left, don't they? Oh, boy, that same coon laugh, boy. I tell you, boy. That I wonder, do they have to make them practice the coon laugh before they let them in there? Because they all got the same laugh. Boy, I tell you, boy.
Tired of this.
Yeah. When I sit there, the oversight committee is where all the drama is. This is where the impeachment inquiry is. And, it's insulting that we have idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, Paul Gosar, Jim Jordan. I mean, you just name all of the nonsense Republicans, and they sit on this committee, and they sit there so high and mighty, and they talk noise constantly, and they're like, oh, the Biden crime family. And I'm like, I'm sorry, have you met the Trumps? Like, who is it that's in court every single day or every other day with something, whether it's the fraudulent businesses that he's run or whether it's his criminal issues on the state level, on the federal level, and you're trying to make something out of nothing. Is this what we're doing?
Is it nothing? No, I mean, Hunter did just get indicted on 9 new tax charges.
Okay, all right. So
we gonna go
to Hunter.
We see him on video smoking crack.
Listen to me now. Okay,
I don't know if it's a crime family.
I'm gonna say
but he's committed some crimes.
Okay, well,
allegedly.
Listen to me. Nah. You can shut the fuck up for a minute. We're gonna pause her mouth for a minute. I'm so glad that Charlamagne the Fraud brought up Hunter Biden in his situation, because now we're going to let a brother here with some intelligence actually talk about some things. Oh, yes. My good brother Carlton Dennis. Oh, yes. This man knows his stuff when it comes to economics and taxes and all types of legalities. He's going to break down some things about your boy Hunter Biden that a lot of y'all didn't know. Because, see, I'm going to pause that Mammy right there, because we're going to let him speak. And after you hear this, we're going to go back to Jasmine Crockett bullshit. And like I said, you're going to see how compromised she is. I want my black business owners to pay attention to what you're about to hear. I'm going to let this play in its entirety without any type of interruption. Because, see, this is very, very important. This is very important right here. In fact, let me make sure that I have this queued up where y'all can hear this. Okay, good deal. I think everything should be clear on the audio. Listen, if you can't hear this clearly, I want you to let me know, and I'll make sure I get that adjusted. But what you're about to hear here, and for those that don't know, this is Carlton Dennis. This brother is a professional. He's got his game down pat, like I said, as far as taxes and the legalities of any type of business that you're operating or what have you. This brother right here is the man to go over there and check out his content. I'm going to play something that he's about to tell you. And like I said, I'm not going to say anything on this. I'm going to save my commentary for when we get back to Jasmine Crockett bullshit. This is what your boy Hunter Big Rocks Biden going on, okay? With them big old damn quarter-pounder size rocks that he got on his scale. Right now, he probably hid his mind somewhere with his head in a pile of cocaine somewhere. I want y'all to hear what this boy got going on.
Here's a quick rundown of the 9 criminal tax charges that Hunter Biden is facing. 5 counts of failing to pay taxes, 2 counts of filing a false return, 1 count of tax evasion, and 1 count of failing to file taxes. Of these 9 criminal charges, 3 of them are felonies and 6 of them are misdemeanors. The 3 that are the felonies are the tax evasion counts and the 2 counts of filing a false return. Now, the charges that Hunter Biden is facing are quite serious, and this is one of the highest profile tax cases of the last decade. Hunter could be facing up to 17 years in prison for these tax charges, in addition to potentially more jail time due to the gun charges in Delaware. Now, according to the indictment, the president's son engaged in a 4-year scheme in which he willfully chose not to pay up to $1.4 million in taxes that were personally assessed to him all the way from tax year 2016 through 2019. He allegedly also evaded tax assessments for the tax years 2018 when he filed a false return. The indictment declared that Hunter Biden spent a whopping $872,172 on various women and adult entertainment. And regarding these expenses and other lavish expenses made by Hunter Biden, the indictment read, the defendant spent this money on drugs, escorts, girlfriends, luxury hotels, and rental properties, exotic cars, clothing, and other items of personal nature. In short, everything but his taxes. Part of the reason why Hunter Biden was indicted for making many of these purchases is that he tried to identify a lot of these payments as personal expenses instead of business expenses. In other words, he tried to write off a lot of his personal expenses as business expenses, which is illegal. Now, for example, he allegedly failed to identify a $1,500 payment made to a stripper at a strip club on August 14, 2018 through the Venmo payment app as a personal expense. According to the details of the transaction on Venmo, Hunter Biden described the payment as being made for artwork. Additionally, Hunter allegedly failed to identify an $11,500 transaction payment to an escort that was a personal transaction. The payment was made to the escort for spending 2 nights with Hunter Biden in his room. Furthermore, Hunter is alleged to have claimed that money he paid to sexual and romantic partners as business wages. His apparent goal for doing this was to reduce his tax burden by deducting the wages as business expenses, like having an employee. He allegedly also claimed that he spent $18,000 on a golf club membership, but $10,000 was actually spent at a sex club membership. Guys, this is not fake. Additionally, he allegedly spent thousands of dollars on his business line of credit at strip clubs, and he falsely represented to his accountants that it was for business expenses. The indictment also claimed that he used his business line of credit to pay for personal items like high-end clothing, restaurant meals, and luxury hotels. The indictment has a much more elaborate breakdown of all of Hunter Biden's expenses and alleged tax crimes. These are just a few of them that I'm sharing with you here today. Now, in case you're confused about why Hunter Biden is being charged with a tax crime for spending money on strippers, escorts, sex clubs, and all these other crazy expenses, the reason is because it is against the law to claim personal expenses as business expenses on your tax return. It is also illegal to fail to pay the IRS the taxes you owe, to lie on your tax returns, and to fail to file your tax returns. Hunter Biden has been accused of all these things. Now, the charges against him, they're very severe, and they come with severe punishments. However, we don't know if he will be found guilty of these charges and sent to prison as a result. There's still a chance that he could be found innocent, but Hunter being charged with all of these crimes is a perfect example of the dangers of commingling business and personal funds. I advise all of my clients to keep separate bank accounts for all of their personal expenses and all their business expenses. I don't care if you got a sex problem, just make sure it's on your personal credit card, not your business credit card. I personally even go as far as to recommend that my clients do not ever use payment apps like Venmo or Zelle for business payments. The reason why is because many people are extremely used to making personal payments through these apps. Then, if they start to make business payments through them, they can accidentally commingle personal and business funds. This is something that you do not want to do, so you need to watch your expenses closely and avoid these type of payment apps at all costs. As a general rule of thumb, for all of my business owners out there, it is critical to keep your business funds as separate from your personal funds as possible to prevent commingling. If you do accidentally commingle your personal and business funds, you can not only face some legal trouble, but you could also potentially lose liability protection that you wanted for your LLC or for your corporation. This is because when you commingle personal and business funds, they can potentially result in a piercing of the corporate veil, which just means to you that you could personally be held liable for the debts and other liabilities of your business. Now, in other words, just avoid commingling personal and business expenses at all costs. Keep separate bank accounts for personal and business purpose, and avoid using Venmo, Zelle for business as much as humanly possible. So you might be asking, who brought the charges? The 9 criminal tax charges against Hunter Biden were brought by special counsel David Weiss. David Weiss is a Trump-appointed United States attorney from the state of Delaware who has been supervising the federal probe into Hunter Biden for a number of years. Although Hunter Biden has been formally indicted by a grand jury on these 9 criminal tax charges, there was initially a plea deal that was on the table. In fact, earlier in 2023, there was a proposed plea deal in which Hunter Biden would have pleaded guilty to 2 misdemeanor tax charges. In exchange, he would have most likely not have been required to serve prison time for either the tax charges or the gun charges that he was already facing. Now, there were a few apparent reasons why the plea deal collapsed earlier this year. For example, the prosecution and the defense apparently were having disagreements about whether or not the plea deal would prevent Hunter Biden from facing additional criminal charges in the near future. There was a number of other sticking points in addition to this one that seemed to prevent a plea deal from actually being agreed upon. Now, the judge who was presiding over the case gave the prosecution and Hunter Biden's defense team an additional 30 days to try to reach a plea deal. However, the 2 parties were never able to come up with an agreement, and the plea deal got thrown out. Now, Hunter Biden is facing a much more serious charges than the 2 misdemeanors that he was about to face, that he was going to accept a plea deal for earlier on in 2023. So, what's going on? Is Joe Biden being involved? What's happening? At this point, you might be wondering, is Hunter Biden's father, President Joe Biden, involved in all of this? Well, the indictment did not name President Joe Biden, and the president is not including any of the charges against his son. However, the former president, Donald Trump, is currently facing 4 criminal charges of his own. So it appears that in 2024, during the election year, one of the leading presidential candidates, Donald Trump, and son the current sitting president, Joe Biden, will both be embroiled in various criminal charges. This is easy. So I want to take a second here to discuss deducting business expenses related to entertainment, because you're probably wondering, did Hunter Biden really do anything wrong by claiming those strippers and all those escorts as business expenses? Did he? Well, there is some very important legislation to consider here. In 2017, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act became law during the Trump administration. It was made into law that business entertainment is no longer tax deductible. This clarified that business meals with clients would also be 50% deductible, but entertainment expenses were now reduced to 0%. So let's say that hypothetically, Hunter Biden had actually been conducting business activities in these strip clubs. If he had been holding a meeting with some clients in the club and then later tried to deduct the entertainment expenses he paid to the strippers from a business credit card, even if he had the best of intentions in the situation, he would still likely get into legal trouble here because entertainment expenses are no longer tax deductible anymore. That went away after the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So if any of you are watching this video and getting crazy ideas right now and thinking about holding business meetings in strip clubs and trying to deduct the money that you spend on strippers in the club as entertainment expenses, then you should definitely not do this. Try to make sure you put that on your personal card. The same goes for trying to deduct baseball tickets, concert tickets, sporting events. In fact, don't try to deduct any of these entertainment expenses for your business, period. The IRS does not allow you to deduct entertainment expenses anymore, plain and simple. Now, there is another important point to consider in this whole Hunter Biden situation. Hunter Biden's also being accused of hiring strippers and exotic dancers for personal reasons and trying to write them off as a business expense. Guys, trying to deduct any kind of personal expense as a business expense to get a deduction is a huge mistake. Do not do this either. Here's a quick recap of the most important parts I discussed with you that I just want to make sure you walk away with. President Biden's son, Hunter, has a serious issue. We know that now. He has been charged with 9 different counts of criminal tax offense. These charges include tax evasion, failure to file, failure to pay taxes, and filing a false return. It's unclear whether or not Hunter Biden will be found guilty on these charges. We know what happens sometimes in Congress. He could be facing up to 17 years in prison. He could not. The IRS no longer allows entertainment expenses to be deducted. So do not try what Hunter Biden tried to do.
Now, there you have it, family. So if you are a black business owner, I hope you soak that game up, because I don't want to see my people getting caught up trying to do what white folks do. You know, a lot of our people out here think, oh, I'm going to do what the white folks did. Okay, you're going to be caught up in situations. You know that when you black, boy, they're going to make sure they throw the book at you, okay? So keep your business and pleasure separate, all right? Like the old adage goes, do not mix business with pleasure when it comes to your business and your finances, all right? So now, let's get back to Jasmine Crockett bullshit, all right? Because I wanted y'all to hear all of that with no interruption whatsoever. This Mammy, this attack Mammy, okay, Biden's attack Mammy, she's about to go explaining for Hunter Hot Rocks Biden, okay? And go ahead and take a good look at the thumbnail if you would like to get that horrific no-tooth, piranha mouth image in your head. This is ridiculous. Like I said, the woman is compromised. If anybody thinks that I'm being too hard on her, okay, just wait. Watch how she fires up this Mammy machine that she finna have up here, boy. Nothing but Mammy babble coming up.
And there we go, because I'm the criminal defense attorney. But I will say this. He has been charged for paying his taxes late or filing his taxes late.
Talk that talk.
Now, I don't know. Maybe all your listeners that are listening in now have always paid their taxes on time.
Yeah, but
Hellfire, I do. Oh, I can't stand the damn IRS fucking blood-sucking leeches, but I pay my taxes on time. Oh, yes, I do. And most of y'all are the business owners, too. You know you can't help but pay your taxes on time if you're a business owner. Salute the Premier Homes for the cash out. Thank you very much. Now, you heard what she said. He was accused of paying his taxes late. Now, my good brother Carlton Dennis does not lie. That's not the only thing or the only problem that him of paying taxes late. I let that play uninterrupted for a reason so that you can see how this heifer just outright lies or doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Okay? See, the stuff that I show you over on this channel, you can verify it and look it up. I don't do the whole because I have an issue with somebody. I'm going to just make up lies and put anything. I don't do that over here. But this Mammy, you're going to see she got no problem with that. Let's get back to it.
Seen too many of us go to jail for that.
For taxes?
Hell yeah.
We don't normally listen. People don't normally get caught.
Wesley Snipes, Fat Joe.
Wesley Snipes didn't pay. I don't think he paid taxes. He never paid.
He never paid. But here's the deal.
And Fat Joe, I think there was a problem. His accountant did something wrong, and
I thought it went in late too. I thought
his accountant totally did something wrong. That's why he was at his accountant.
But what I'm talking about is like everyday people. There are people, everyday people, that don't get charged with this. Like, this is very rare. Mm-hmm. Like, most of the time you sit down and they say, okay, I got busy, or okay, I didn't have this, or okay, my accountant this, or whatever, and they work it out. And Hunter has paid his due. And listen, as a criminal defense attorney, I got a lot of parents that would be in jail right now if they was getting caught up for what their kids did. So I'm not saying that Hunter is guilty or not guilty. What I am saying is that he's presumed innocent until, right? Absolutely. So that's that part. But that's his son, right? So, like, how is it that his son, who he did not put into position, unlike Trump, he took his whole family and was like, y'all go on and come into the administration. We know that his son-in-law did not have the ability to get a top security clearance. I don't know why or what was in his background that prevented him, and Trump overrode that. That was a national security threat in and of itself. And even as we talk about, again, these conflicts that currently exist, we know that this dude was keeping this stuff in his bathroom at Mar-a-Lago and on the stage and all this other kind of stuff.
Biden had classified documents too.
He did have them, right? But what happened when they asked for him back?
He gave him up.
Yeah. And in fact,
but he still had him, though. I know people do that argument and they be like, well, he gave him back, but he still took him from wherever he took him.
No.
And
I don't disagree with that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people take things home.
And he had stuff from when he was a senator. So that's 90 years.
No, and the stuff that
you hear her every time they try to hold her to talking about what the Democrats doing. But the Republicans, Trump, just like a little attack Mammy Chihuahua. That's what that heifer is. And yes, my sister Zola, you're right. He's not innocent, because if you go to my YouTube short sections, when you have a chance, you will find evidence of how not innocent he is with his hot rocks. In fact, I have a couple of shorts over there with Hunter Hot Rocks biting on there. You'll see just how innocent he's not, okay? But see, this Mammy babble over here, just steady babbling, just everything. Notice she has no critique for anybody in the Democratic Party. It's always criticizing the Democrats, deflect to the Republicans. You did see, there's no integrity here, family. She's not even giving me anything that I can work with. Look, I'll tell you, I don't have no love for none of them bastards, man. But at least I can say this about Eric Adams. At least he did try to go and talk to Jim Crow Joe Biden about the migrant crisis. And you see what happened with that. They pulled his for. They're like, oh, yeah? You gonna not get on board with this migrant thing? Go ahead and pull up some sexual assault charges on him from way back when somewhere. Yeah, just find somebody. Just go ahead and throw that at him. You see what he dealing with now, huh? Yeah. So I will give Eric Adams that much credit. At least he did try to say something. But hey, you see what happened? And see, I'm bringing that up for a reason. Because this bootleg right here, her turn is coming. What have we always told you over here in these spaces? The elder and grandmaster teacher, Neely Fuller Jr., told us when white supremacy is done with its tools, it always breaks them. Her time is coming, and watch when it comes, she gonna come running back to the community that she don't do a damn thing for. Let's let it continue.
You're gonna have as a senator is not gonna be the same stuff that you're gonna have as a president. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, the level is like, there's levels to this. So the things that he's gonna have as a senator are not gonna be the same level. But the reality is that people do take stuff home. Now, I try to leave everything at work. And most of the time, I don't get anything that's that sensitive anyway. When we go in and we're giving briefings, they're like, we're taking your phones, we're taking your headsets, we taking everything, we taking your watch. Mm-hmm. We go in for those security briefings, and we're not supposed to talk about exactly what happened in those briefings. So there's very little that we're given on paper. But as a president, you definitely are given so much more. So number one, the level of secrecy and harm that could be caused by what Biden had, which was from when he was in the Senate as vice president, completely than that you have as a president. In addition to that, we know that Trump was walking up out the White House and literally was like, I'm taking my documents with me. Like, this was a very intentional taking afterwards versus an unintentional taking. And it's the same thing that we do with anything else in law. We look at the intent of something, the mens rea. We look at, was this intentionally and knowingly? Was this reckless? Or was this careless and negligent? Those are the standards. What Trump did was very intentional. What Biden did was very unintentional. And another thing that we know is that when somebody said, yo, we think you got some documents, Biden said, listen, go in, look for whatever y'all want to look for and take it. What Trump did, he said, now cut the cameras, make sure you delete the footage. Like, he was absolutely trying to hoard it and hide it. And he was going out and he was.
You know something, family? I'm going to go ahead and say something. Because, see, this woman has a bad habit of just saying shit and then it turns out to be a lie. I hate to go here with it. I hope they sue your ass for that. I hope they sue you for just saying some shit and there's no basis or grounds to say it. I really do hope they come after your ass for that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, play with me like that. Oh, boy, I will have my legal team on your ass so fast. I really hope they hit her with that because she just pulling shit out of her ass. Oh, boy, I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming, though. I tell you, time is the great reveal of all things.
Bragging, and he was showing these secret documents to people, and literally it put us in harm's way as well as some of our allies. I still have questions about who he showed what to and whether or not some of the conflicts that we see that exist right now are a result of his mishandling. That is very unnerving to me. And what people don't understand is that there are conflicts that are taking place in places like Africa. We've got conflicts in Sudan. We've got people that have forgotten what happened with the Haitians. And when the Haitians were trying to come in as migrants, it was my governor that had officers on horses that were whipping them and acting like, this was slavery yet again. But people don't say, well, why were the Haitians trying to get up here? They forget that the president had been murdered, right? And so, I don't know.
And guess who had something to do with that, too? I'm glad you mentioned the Haitians' Jasmine Crockett bullshit, because you can talk about Greg Abbott all you want. I'm going to go here. This is going to seem cruel. You know why that wouldn't have happened? If they wouldn't have tried to run their asses up here and they would have stayed at home and build and fix their own problems. Yeah, I'm going there. I'm not saying it's right what happened to them, but you don't get them kinds of issues if you stay home and build. And then they were deceived into thinking that, oh, well, everybody can just come through the border. No, your skin is too dark. No, if you're not a white Hispanic, they're not letting you come up here like that. Okay, not in them kinds of numbers. No, 1 or 2 of you may sneak in, but as far as large numbers, listen, they cleared them out of here in 48 hours. Huh? But regarding what happened in Haiti with the assassination of President Moise, I think that's how you pronounce his name. You can't tell me that our government didn't have anything to do with that. Y'all, look, I may need to try to break that down on PewTube if they allow it. Because, look, I know they've been messing with the broadcast over tonight. They don't like it when I educate my people on the truth. I'm going to see if I can't put that on YouTube, I'm going to have to put that on Patreon with the upcoming Bug Out Bag broadcast. I know you've been patient for that, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me, I'm going to have some good information for you. So if you're not over on Patreon, you probably want to consider joining up over there. That's going to be useful information for every black person on what you should have in a bug out bag. Look for that in the next couple of days. It's coming up, okay? Going to be some solid information. But I may have to try to put a breakdown of what happened to Haiti over there or attempt it on YouTube. We'll see. But see, she's talking about a lot of stuff here. Babbling, deflecting, trying to defend Jim Crow Joe Biden and his little Hot Rocks Biden son there, okay, Hunter Biden. Just going all over the place. Nothing speaks of accountability. Nothing's talking about what you're going to do tangibly for black people. She's just incompetent. This is no one that you put in a position of representation or leadership. She's proving it out of her own mouth. Let's let her get back to it.
I mean, people was trying to stand with the Haitians, which I feel a way about, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many people are really trying to stand with the Sudanese people and all that. So
what did the Biden administration do about that, though, when it came to the Haitian?
Okay, migrants? so now you
you can say nothing. It's okay. It's okay to say nothing. They didn't do anything. Okay, they didn't do nothing. It's okay. Do you think Hunter Biden being indicted on the 9 new tax charges is political?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, he's already, listen, we know that he already had indictments that he was facing for basically the same thing. And what we typically do, if I put on my legal hat, is you work out a deal. You work out a deal and you say, listen, we will do X, Y, Z in exchange for this. And it
Nope. No, Mammy. No little train attack, Mammy. No train attack, Mammy. How many people during the crack epidemic and under the 94 crime bill got to work out a deal? No, his boy needs to face the law just like everybody else. You work out a deal. Normally you work out. And listen to how she talks. Look, you know what she sounds like? She sounds like the female version of Steven from Django. That's what she sounds like. Just defend Master at all costs, boy. If you look, to listen to her talk, this is why this is so embarrassing. She damn near sound like the Biden's housemaid or something. Just listen, I'm telling you, family, I can't stand these kinds of bootlicks, man. I wonder which sorority she's a part of, because you know she probably in that damn Divine Nine. I guarantee you she in one of them damn sororities. I'm telling you, man. Listen, man. Come time, election time here, family, this type of crap right here, y'all got to get these bootlicks out of here. We got to get them out everywhere they are. The entire Congressional Black Caucus, they need to go. They don't do anything for us. They do everything for other people. It's time to show them what the fruits of their labor is. For us not doing anything for us, you got to get up out of here. We got to send you packing, okay? Look, I don't care who get the seat. If you're not going to represent us, I don't care. Let them have it. Republicans, it don't matter. If you didn't want Republicans there, you would have did things for us. The main people that support your base, your political party. See, think about it. Let's go here with it before I let this babbling Mammy continue. Because I know y'all ears are bleeding from hearing this, but somebody got to do this. Think about it as a business owner. If you got a hot product, okay? Product that all your customers love. Oh, I'm talking about it selling off the shelves every time you get it. So instead of giving your customers what they want, you bring them a product they didn't really care for, don't ask for. And instead of them saying, or instead of them when they come into your establishment saying, yeah, you know, I see that. That's cool. I don't want that. Let me get this product over here. You're like, oh, no, we got plenty of that. We ain't gonna give you that. But you need this. Okay, so they tried. They were like, yeah, I tried it. I don't like that. Give me the other product. Well, no, let me bring you this. They want to bring you everything except for what you want. Now, would that be smart business? Would that be smart business? Do you think any business could stay in business that long and be successful if you don't give the customer what they want? Huh? That's exactly what this Democratic Party is trying to treat black people. Let's get back to it.
Cleans everything up. I never work a deal where I'm only going to resolve one issue. I work it all out because who wants to keep having to go back and back and back or whatever. Now, granted, it was the judge that blew the deal up, which judges can always decide if they're going to accept or reject. But I think it's a little disingenuous of the DOJ in general to say, all right, well, it's a free for all now. You know what I mean? This isn't, you know, like George Santos, right? Like, for instance, this dude was like, no, I ain't taking your deal, right? He had 9 counts. So the AUSA comes back and was like, okay, if we gonna have to try it, then we gonna try it, bro, right? So superseding indictment. Now you got 23 counts. This wasn't that type of situation. You had someone who said, I am accepting responsibility. I am willing to do what needs to be done to fulfill the requirements and moving on. So I think that, you know, it's a little different. And I do think that it's politics. But you know, this is the world we living in. It's a election cycle.
Them talking about impeaching Biden is definitely politics.
Oh my God.
They've said that. I forgot which guy said it, but he literally said, I'm doing this to be able to give President Trump ammo for when they bring up his impeachment.
Yeah.
So I believe the problem is they normalized so much of Trump's criminal behavior that when they finally decided to take some action, it all looks political. Yeah. So everything looks political.
Looks like a witch hunt.
But I'm saying all of it. Like, we know what it is. We know why Republicans are talking about impeaching Biden.
Right.
We know why Hunter Biden got indicted. But then on the flip side, when the people that are actually committing the crimes, when things happen to them, it all looks like a tit for tat.
Yeah.
So we, the American people, don't know what's what and who's who. So you can't tell me this person is a criminal when this person is getting charged too. You can't tell me this person is a bad guy for getting impeached when they talking about impeaching them too, because all I hear is the wording.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what they're trying to do is they are trying to act as if they're the same. And they're not. They're not. There's a huge difference.
But they look the same to the American people.
They do look the same. But like what I need people to remember is I remember very vividly when Trump said he could go and shoot somebody in broad daylight and get away with it. That's what he said. And essentially that's what he's been doing. He's been shooting his shot all over this country, acting a fool, and basically dared people to come for him. And guess what?
Trump is not the sitting president right now. This is pathetic, family. Look, let me show you something, right? Let's go to the white supremacists for a minute. We know they don't like to compete when it comes to dealing with black people, but see, study how they're acting amongst themselves, because let's be clear, this is a white supremacist issue, okay? This is white supremacists fighting versus white supremacists. Instead of competing against Donald Trump the right way, they got to pull all these different stunts and tricks trying to get him off the ballot in Colorado. Oh, you got these charges, discharges coming up all over the place. You can't just compete. So if they'll do that to each other, you got to be twice the fool it take to be one to think that they'll play fair with us, okay? See, there's different lessons that you can get out of anything that's going on. And I just wanted to remind the family of that. Okay, for the bootlicking Sambos and the shucking and jiving coons that tend to think that, okay, once you've gotten to a certain position, that you the special one, okay? Don't worry, your moment is coming, okay? I'm just showing y'all that, right? Because Charlemagne, I got to give it to him. He's been trying to hold her accountable still, but hey, listen, she's about like Neo from the Matrix, ducking, dodging, up under stuff, hopping over things. Ain't no accountability touching her ass at all. She ain't letting nothing get to that Democrat Party, boy. You hear me? I told you, this is a trained attack, Mammy, man. I'm telling you. Think if she was going that hard in the paint for black folks. Huh? Man, let it continue.
It took a lot of black folk. And they mad, right? 3 out of 4 of the prosecutors that are going after Trump are black. Right. There are other prosecutors in this country that could be going for his neck as well. We just saw some fake electors in another state that ended up entering into an agreement with the prosecution. Those fake electors were a part of a larger scheme. They didn't go after Trump, though. It's like not going after the dope dealer, but instead going after the dude that's on the corner. Like, this needs to stop. It took a black... It took a black woman in New York. It took a black man in New York enough because they ain't never questioned. But now it's like we want to tiptoe. He should be in jail right now. Nobody say. But anybody who's ever dealt with the criminal justice system or even any legal system knows no one would dare to do that. No, right? Because you already know you are going to be locked up.
But they don't
goes to jail for contempt of court or violating a gag order. It's gonna be the black woman in DC. Because everybody else is like, whoa, right? It's gonna be the black woman in DC.
And when if he becomes president, which I pray he doesn't.
I pray he doesn't either.
Guess who's going to prison? All those black women you just named. You know this though. I mean, I'm saying, but it's really that. It's really that serious. He's already said it.
He has.
He's told you what he's going to do to his critics and his political opponents.
He has, but I'm gonna keep the faith, and I'm a hope and pray on that one.
You think with George Santos, you think the Congress should have came before the courts in that situation?
I think that we did what was right, for sure. I absolutely do. Because here's the deal. What people don't understand is that we have our own systems in place as well. And so we have our system. You don't necessarily have to be facing criminal charges to go before ethics and for ethics to deliver an opinion and to do an investigation. George Santos refused to resign. We've had people historically resign for way less, but he decided, nope, who gonna check me, boo? Like, y'all gonna have to kick me out. And I don't know if this was about him getting an unemployment check, because y'all know that was part of his issue, was the unemployment fraud. And so I guess he say, listen, y'all gonna see me fired publicly, and so I can collect my check. I don't know. I don't know what his thought process was, but I do think that the right thing was done, because he was accused of things that were associated with him being in office, that were associated with him seeking office. And they conducted their own investigation. He was given an opportunity to defend himself. He failed to participate. That is due process. Due process doesn't necessarily have to be a criminal trial, because due process is simply that I am making an allegation. It can be a civil allegation, but you have to be given an opportunity to defend yourself. He was given that opportunity. They had thousands upon thousands of pages of evidence against him, and they came to a conclusion in a bipartisan way of the facts in that case, and they were absolutely egregious, and he shouldn't be serving.
You think it's going to set a bad precedent? Because now you see Fetterman coming after Menendez, and you see they just censored Jamal Bowman. You think that's going to set a precedent to where?
Well, listen, they didn't censored. They didn't water down what a censor is supposed to be, for sure. I don't think that it sets a bad precedent, because I don't know that we will ever have another person in Congress that will be half as egregious as George Santos.
There's people that's worse, though, especially in the Republican Party.
As far as like who they are as people, yes. But as far as committing crimes that are specifically associated with them being in office, no. And that's the thing. Like, representation looks like electing the person that you feel like represents you. Unfortunately, Georgia feels like Marjorie Taylor Greene is a good representation of them. They feel like Matt Gaetz. Now, there is a rumor that they are really trying to work through the Matt Gaetz stuff, because they're still very upset with him. I don't know what they're going to do with that, but, he was facing some very serious allegations. They weren't necessarily tied to his office, but, rape is kind of a big deal. And so, ultimately, they decided not to move forward with criminal charges for the child sexual rape allegations that he had against him. I don't know.
It looked hypocritical, though, because you got both presidential candidates who got accusations too.
Well, but I'm saying
candidates. We got a president who has accusations and a candidate, Trump, who has accusations.
So, but the difference with Matt Gaetz, that's what I'm saying. So Matt Gaetz, ultimately, they decided no criminal charges.
What? You don't want Newport Joe on the screen? Listen, y'all. Now, I've got my trained attack Mammy out here. She's giving them boys on that damn Breakfast Club that work. Don't you try to come for me and my Democratic Party, the donkey crats. We got this thing on lock. I done told y'all during that leaked Zoom meeting, y'all gonna have to get more used to working with Hispanics. They make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. Now, I don't know who you negras, you darkies think you're dealing with now. I'm still Captain Crime Bill. Now, look, I had to take that damn presidential suit off and put on my Newport outfit. This is me, Cornrow Joe. That's right. So, listen, you do a good job, my little trained attack, Mammy. You get out there and you let them know that they're going to do what Daddy tells them to do. Now, remember, before we get back to this, hush your mouth now, Jazzy. Don't get fired now, Trick. You get out there and you vote for me, because if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Now, Jazzy, get back to doing Daddy's work.
So I think that they'll be in a weird space, depending on what they have. Like, I don't know what they have. It's kind of like the January 6th Commission. Like, they were able to find out a lot of things that weren't known. I don't know if Trump would be facing his criminal charges, but for January 6th, right? So I don't know if ethics has received additional information or something like that, and it still may end up causing an issue for Matt Gaetz down the line. But Matt Gaetz is still there. So, I think that the precedence is still in place, because he does have the allegations, but he's not been brought up to be kicked out by Democrats or Republicans. No one has tried to censor him. No one has tried to expel him. And I don't anticipate that anything would happen unless and until there actually was an investigation where he was given an opportunity again to defend himself. And I think, again, for Santos, it was the fact that he literally, he had one of his colleagues go off because he had ran his credit card up for $10,000. So one of his own Republican colleagues was like, bro, like, you did it to me. Like, so yeah, like, it was very personal. Like, I gave you my credit card information because I was supporting your candidacy, and you ran it up going to, I don't know what I'm assuming that's where he went on that one. Yeah.
I got two more questions. Okay. Do you think the Democratic Party is making the same mistake with Biden that they made with RBG?
Ooh, that is a very interesting way to phrase it. Listen, I'm riding with Biden. We have no other
You damn right you riding with Biden. Y'all got some riding for you to do as soon as you get off this interview. Is this microphone on? Is this on? Y'all weren't supposed to hear that. Stay out Big Daddy Jim Crow Joe's business. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Why you think she's such a Lord trained attack, man? I don't care if you know that I got her bent over in this corner. Me and goddamn Hunter, we gonna tag team that ass. We got mounts of cocaine and big rocks in here. We gonna have a good old time. She's high right now, a little bit. She's coming down. It was a wild night last night. But I told her, listen, you want to get back in this here room, Mammy, you better get out here and do a good job for Daddy on this damn Breakfast Club. Listen, we going to let her finish wrapping up things here, but I just want y'all to understand, don't you think that you got no representation? Jim Crow Joe has these mammies on lock. They riding with Biden. These is Joe's hoes. Don't you ever forget it.
Option. We have no other option.
If Trump wasn't running, would you be riding with Biden? Or would you be calling for Biden to step aside?
I wouldn't be calling for him to step aside only because literally this guy has a great track record. Again, who's looking at fixing the water in Flint?
Can he win?
Great track record, bitch. Where? Did she just say he has a great track record? For who? The migrants? Zelensky in Ukraine? Where the track for black people? Where's his great track record with us? Oh, never mind that his name has been on every crime bill since 1976. Oh, didn't I tell you she was compromised? I told you, man. Listen, that's why I got a pimp sitting right over here behind her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, we got to represent over here. I told you. There's no hope for this. None whatsoever.
No, I agree with you. The track record is there, but can he win? Can he win next year in a general election? Can Biden and Harris win? Are they still a winnable ticket?
I think they are. I think they are. I think that we got a lot of work to do. And I think that, we tripping if we feel like we got this thing in the bag. I don't think we should ever underestimate the power of Trump and his cult. We should never do that, right? And I also think that it's important for people that have historically felt like they were left out, ignored, or just taken for granted. I think it's important that we have the conversations with those communities and tell them that no, we are fighting for you. Like I just said, most people don't know $6 a day and Republicans trying to snatch it.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, we can do this. Don't do this. Or the fact that you want to make sure aren't available when we're dealing in this entire country. No, we are trying to fight for these things. And listen, if you let them in power, you may not have a roof over your head, for sure. You may not have food in your belly, for sure. So, we are fighting for these things, and it is a team effort. I think that what we do is we give too much power to the president. The president isn't a king. That's not what we have in this country. It takes an entire team. So I need people to understand that they need to research who is running for the state house so you don't end up with a George Santos, because that was a democratically held seat, and a Democrat needs to take it back. So, I need people to say, yes, we've got the president and the vice president.
No, Jasmine. See what I told you about her being compromised? A Democrat doesn't need to take it back. Somebody that's going to represent the people needs to take it back. I told y'all, man. A Democrat needs to take it back. Boy, when I tell you, I told you this is his trained attack, Mammy.
But they can't get nothing done by themselves. They still need a Senate that's going to work with them. They still need a House that's going to work with them. And so we put so much focus on the president as if he is the one person that can do it all, and that's just not what it is.
He doing it all for the Asians, the migrants that's not supposed to be over here, doing it all for Ukraine. Oh, he doing it all for the white LGBTQ. Oh, he doing it all then. But you can't do it all when it comes to black people, though, huh? You see what I'm saying, family?
People to start putting some pressure on these members that are sitting in the U.S. House as well as the U.S. Senate, and making sure that they're researching them and they're voting for the right candidates so that we can get the right team. Because last time we had the House, we had the Senate, and we had the White House, and everybody's like, why didn't y'all codify Roe? That's been a major blast, right?
That's because y'all had people.
Black people are not concerned about codifying Roe. No, that's not what the average black person's concern is. Nowhere in this country. Okay? Nowhere.
It was the Senate. The Senate was the problem.
But it was two of y'all people constantly holding stuff up.
In the Senate.
Joe
Correct.
Manchin and Kirsten
Correct.
Sinema, and now nobody flexed on either one of them.
Well,
Donald Trump.
I did.
I'm talking about Donald Trump would have had a nickname for both of them.
Oh,
Donald Trump would have been calling them out.
Yeah.
Donald Trump would have been putting pressure on them.
Yeah, but look at this. Sinema decided, let me go on and not even try to pretend I'm a Democrat no more, right? So Sinema is not running as a Democrat. Her polling is trash. And so one of my Democratic House colleagues is running against her, Ruben Gallego. He about to smash her. Like that is the plan.
Good.
He's going to hopefully take that seat. So now we got one. Joe Manchin, what he decide to do?
Run for
Never
president.
mind. Oh, Jesus.
He's going to run for president.
Okay, we not
And
gonna,
guess what?
we
When he
not
runs for president, I don't want to hear nobody that's a Democrat talk shit about him because y'all didn't talk shit about him.
I did.
Well,
So you said nobody.
Well, you're right. I'm sorry. But I don't want to. Everybody was tiptoeing around Joe for the most part.
Yeah.
Wouldn't call him out when he was blocking every single agenda in the Biden administration. But when he runs for president, everybody going to try to demonize him like he's a bad guy. Don't do that now.
I'm going to be consistent.
I'm going to hear him out.
Yeah,
He know he's not. Representative, we appreciate you for joining us. Representative.
Absolutely pathetic, family. Did you hear this helpful up there stirring? Boy, listen, man. Let me tell you something. What you see on your screen here, though, this is what you got to deal with right here. See, that I'm Jim Crow Joe. That's right. You see, I got this trained attack Mammy out here. She's gonna do my bidding. Never mind looking at this Arita Sussay sign. It's Arita Sussay Jim Crow Joe time. That's right. Now listen, don't you expect that these Mammies are gonna do anything for black people? You're gonna give me your votes for free. And that's just what it's gonna be now. Don't make me put together another crime bill. I still got it more left in me now. I'll whip this shit up, put your asses back on plantation. Listen, man, this is what we got going on. I got jokes, but family, this little fucker that you see on your screen here, this a gangster right here, boy. It ain't a rapper out here got a reputation like this. He need to drop his damn mixtape. I'm telling you, boy, I ain't doing shit for black people. Volume 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Yeah, just like Lil Wayne dropped the Carter years ago. That's what he gonna drop. Family, listen. All jokes aside, I brought this broadcast to you tonight because I wanted you to see what we're up against, what we're dealing with as far as these people over here. They loyal to this on the screen right here. This little bastard right here, Cornrow Joe. They loyal to Democrats. They blue. They not black. Okay, they're not our people. Okay, I know. I'm scarring your eyes. Let me go ahead and take his ass down. Let me get him out of here. But see, family, we got business to take care of. All jokes aside, these Mammies, and not just her, all the rest of them in Congressional Black Caucus, wherever they are, get their asses out of office. Let me give you another tool that you can use on your way out because I gave this early in the broadcast. I'm going to put it in there 3 more times. FEC.gov. Go to this website. I'm going to put it in there 3 times. I want everybody to get it. Bookmark this website. Go look up whatever your favorite bootlick is where you are. Type their name in. You can see who funds them. Okay, so that way you know which corporations or donors own their asses. And I want you to look up foreignassistance.gov. That shows where all our tax dollars are going overseas in real time. Keep up with that. Print it out. Use your numbers when you need to go and confront these people out here on the grassroots, okay? So I've given you a thorough presentation tonight. Thank you for everybody that contributed to the broadcast. We had a little bit of fun over here. But I think I packed this broadcast with information that you can use, especially when it comes to you not mixing personal and business things. Please do review that. Share that with everybody that's trying to become an entrepreneur or already is a black business owner, because these are the things they're not going to tell us, all right? So, family, make sure that just like you don't work for free, you don't vote for free. Salute to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Black first. And I will see you all in future content.
It's the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like everything was being driven and influenced by young, black, American culture, like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
You look at all the boroughs, you got, money making Manhattan and money earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip-hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix, they want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip-hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican fleur as a rhyme. I never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, DX from the West Side. I am the first breakdancer.
That narrative that hip-hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip-hop. Hip-hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip-hop.
The roots of hip-hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
I know for a fact that the B-boy stance started from the guards, the 5%ers that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.
When we talk about hip hop and what it is, it's an extension of the music and the instrumentation that our forefathers created.
Check out the live stream premiere of the documentary short, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Black American Family Tree, and Q&A, a fundraiser to create a series detailing music's evolution. Go to DewanB.com for streaming passes and crowdfunding.